Yes.
All right. Yeah.
All right, Adam.
How you doing?
You're fucking locked into this
Yeah, right.
podcast,
All right.
dude.
Thank you.
There's no getting out, dude.
Oh,
I
dude.
locked the door when you walked in.
Man.
Shit's gonna get weird in here today.
Well,
In the best way possible.
this is a hot seat, so I'm glad I'm here, but it's gonna cool off with me.
I doubt it. You can tell a good story, so let me move that out of your way. That way. That way it doesn't crinkle when we're talking. Let's start at the beginning, man. How'd you get into skating? Where are you from? What were your parents feeling about you skating? And maybe how'd you do in school? That's not too many questions, but
All right. I always saw people in my neighborhood skating, older guys, and of course they were riding like G&S boards, really wide boards, and they were just tic-tacking and flowing.
how old are you?
48.
Nice. All right. Just trying to figure out the generation. GNS is a little before me.
Oh yeah, geez, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, GNS was the hot Billy Ruff. Brand X was out back then.
They're still around.
Well, they just came back.
They sponsored a Surf Expo event, the last one we went to, with us, and I talked to the dudes.
Wasn't it the son of the original who brought it back out?
I don't know the story. I met the guy and hung out with him.
Yeah.
I want to say his name was Brad, and it was a lady too. I don't remember her name because I never met her in person, but they were cool.
Yeah, they
have a lot of shape decks and like old artwork and stuff.
Yeah, and that's Madrid was another big company.
I've heard of Madrid.
Yeah. Of course Powell was out.
Where'd you grow up skating?
All right, so I was born in Stamford, Connecticut.
Ooh,
Yep.
CT.
Oh yeah. Born and raised. So I moved. I was born in Stamford. My dad got killed when I was 2. My mom remarried when I was 4, and we moved to Norwalk. So there, I was a biker. I had nice bikes, and I used to ride and do jumps and stuff. And when I was 6, I saw some guys down the street at a school with the go-karts, and so I ran over to go see them. And as I was coming back, there was this huge tree in the way that I couldn't see, so I kind of just used my ears and ran out in the street and got creamed. I got hit by a car, and my head got caught on the bumper and ripped a huge hole, my whole head, whatever.
Holy shit.
So
Wait, were you just running around?
I was running across the street to go back home because I
Frogger.
watched the, and I couldn't see around this tree, so I just tried to listen for a car, and I bolted out, and it was my sister's best friend's dad in a Mercedes who hit me, creamed me. My brother and sister saw it. My sister yelled at my brother to run home. He ran home, got my mom. The lady across the street was my friend Kevin's mom. She took a pillowcase and had to stuff it in my head. So I have literally a huge scar there, and I had skin was gone. I think I had a graft right there because the skin was completely gone. I was in intensive care for 2 weeks, and my eye was so swollen and shut they thought I was going to be blind.
Yeah.
So that was a head trauma right there.
This is before you even skated?
Yep.
Oh, gnarly.
So after that happened, I still rode bikes and stuff, but it was just one of those things that, like, I don't know, I guess I was scared. And I just started picking up penny boards at my friend's house, messing around. And I played sports my whole life. I played baseball and everything like that. And nor to lie, like, I think skateboarding stuck in my head because when I played sports and we were doing well and someone messed up and we lost the game, it was one of those things where, like, I would literally look at the person like, oh, dude, you know what I mean? Like what, for whatever reason. And I did stuff like that too, whatever. Then I got into skateboarding in 7th grade. I don't even know how. I just picked up a board, and it was a challenge to myself. And I couldn't blame anybody but myself for anything that happened in it. And I still played sports, but I just wasn't into it. I think because I was just more kind of liked to challenge myself, I guess. And if I failed, I could blame myself, and it was weird. I don't know. And
I totally relate to that because that's half the reason I gravitated towards skating was because you could do it by yourself, or you could have a team, or you could just be silly with it. It wasn't like structured, organized.
Yes.
Adults didn't
Yeah.
control
Yeah. Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Yep.
You just
Yep.
could do it
Yeah.
at your leisure, and you
Yeah.
could do whatever you want. If you wanted structure and control, you could build a team,
Sure.
have a whole regiment, your whole
Yeah.
skating. You see people skate and they're super stiff and they're very technical and they're
Yeah.
like very controlling with their skating. And then you see other people and they barely even try, but they're having a blast,
Yeah.
you know? So
Yeah.
it's like open enough and complex enough that you can do that
Yeah. And
without adults having to like take over the whole thing.
I think that's what it was too. And so we moved when I was. So after that, I was 6 then. My parents ended up getting divorced when I was 9, and we moved.
Was it your stepdad?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So yeah,
What happened to your father, if you don't mind
he
asking?
got killed on a motorcycle.
Oh wow,
Someone, yeah.
so similar.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Not no
Um,
gang stuff, just someone hit him.
Yeah, yeah. And he was in a coma and stuff for a long time. And I was, for a while he was in the hospital, I was raised by my godparents, Frank and Terry Sims. And Frank Sims is, he's my godfather. He is a backup singer, and he's in the he was the David Bowie, Madonna,
Hell yeah.
Simple Minds, Billy Joel. And if you look on Grand Theft Auto, the very first one, he's the one who does all of the and all the sounds of people and
Oh
stuff
really?
like he does that. And he actually, his claim to fame is he's the Kool-Aid guy that goes, "Oh yeah," that's
Oh
him.
dude, the guy
That's,
he burst through the brick
yeah, and he
walls.
goes, "Oh yeah," that's Frank's voice. Yeah.
What?
So they raised me. Yeah. So that's my yeah.
That's
so,
pretty wild.
Oh, dude, yeah. And when I would go to their house, he would have the platinum records up that he did. So like Simple Minds, Madonna, like I say, David Bowie went on tour with all these people. He's in the videos.
He's like a
Billy
producer.
Joel. No, singer.
Singer.
Yeah, yeah. So
That's
so
insane.
yeah, yeah. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And so they raised me, and then my mom got remarried, and then divorced when I was 9. So from 9 to 17, there was no father support, anything like that. Like my mom was single, she worked and put herself through medical school, and I was on my own. So it was waking up in the morning by myself, getting dressed, going to school, and everything. So I think that gave me some structure and freedom to skate and to do what I did. But it was cool because I never was really in trouble. Skating kept me focused. So it was like go to parties, and even through high school, go to parties and everything. And I always had my board with me. I never drank, didn't do drugs, don't smoke cigarettes. So like that was my thing, and I got lots of respect for it, which was really cool because there was no peer pressure. I mean, of course, kids would be like, "Oh, Adam, have a beer." Like, no, okay, and they'd be like, "Oh man, like you're the man. I really respect that and stuff." So I was able to like have my own identity without having to blend in.
Yeah.
You know, if that makes sense. And even so, when we moved to Rhode Island, I had moved and gone to different schools so much that I think that I just didn't care anymore to impress people. So I just was that skater. So I got along with every kind of group and clique there was in high school because I was my own thing. And plus, I was at New York was the influence for me in Connecticut. So Rhode Island's so small to me. And I remember I had the big blind jeans. I had a wallet chain because Jason Lee. I had sideburns, huge sideburns. Seriously, like straight
I know.
up.
He made him sexy.
dude. And I had to, but that was the thing. I was always to keep my own identity because I was a skater, but I was growing up in the skater world with the Thrashers and the Transworlds and the videos. So that was my identity. So I didn't have to fall into a clique. And I think moving to Rhode Island and meeting people that I met along the way was just meant to be. I have so many friends I grew up that went pro, kids that should have gone pro. I can't. I used to think things like growing up, like, why didn't this happen? Now I feel like things happen for a reason, if that makes sense. But I think, again, me moving around a lot, I didn't have any control. So you say, I had to go to play tennis or I had to go play baseball. There was all these things where skating was just like, go off and do my own thing.
I was similar in the sense that I moved a shit ton when I was younger, and I would always be flexible because I met so many different people, went to so many different schools, and I was able to relate to all different cliques, but keep your own, not have to join one. Yeah. And I think that is something that's like...
That's hard to do.
Yeah.
It really is.
I feel like, because I did that before I skated, I was just kind of like that. And then once I skated, it was even easier, like you're saying, because then I had skating as my thing, and it wasn't that big then, so it
Yeah.
was still like I was an
Same with me.
outcast, but
Same
I
with me.
could still relate to everyone, talk to everyone.
Yep.
It was rad. Like
Yeah.
people liked me. I liked all different
Yeah.
types of people.
Yeah.
I never fell into that high school cliquey shit.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
and
just
it was
nice.
cool. It was really cool because I remember we had the metalheads and the scumbags and the punk rockers, and then you had the jocks and the jocks, whatever, and no one usually got along.
Yeah.
But I would be skating at the high school after, and the kids would come off football with their football gear on and literally lay down, and I'd be doing ollies over them and stuff where people would be like those dudes don't talk to anybody. So that was one of the things too. It made it easy for me to be able to keep that identity.
Yeah.
And then I don't just Skater's Edge in Warwick. That was my place. Andy Singleton's mom opened it up, and that was my go-to.
It was called Skater's Edge.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep, it was the Pontiac Mills on Knight Street, right across from Warwick Mall, in this little mill.
That's rad.
And,
Who was it that did it? Do you remember?
Joy. It was Andy Singleton's mom, Joy, and then her boyfriend Joe built it.
Wow.
And so I met Andy Singleton. So I had met this other kid, Eric, and he was from Warwick, and I lived in East Greenwich. So he would bring me over there before it was open, and Andy would be there, and he'd be with Eric Popecki, Shep Ferry.
Yeah.
Yep, Shep. Alex Punchak, this kid, Catlin Preston. And they would go in there because obviously it wasn't open, but Andy's mom, and I would just sit there and watch them through the window, and man, those unbelievable skaters. And then when it opened,
That's so crazy that there was a different Skater's Edge.
yeah,
Because the Edge, which we skate at now,
Yeah.
used to be Skater's Edge, and then they changed it
To the
to the Edge
Yeah.
to be more inclusive or whatever.
yeah.
But people still call it Skater's Edge.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
didn't really know there was. I think maybe you mentioned it to me before,
That's
but
where
I
I
didn't
met
really
Donnie.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where you met him.
Yeah, and
That's
Brian
a
Anderson and
legend.
Yeah,
CT, right? Connecticut.
all those dudes.
Donnie
Yep,
Bart.
yep, Donnie,
and,
Brian
BA.
Anderson,
Judd.
Judd Hertzler.
Yeah, dude, legend.
Jason Case. This kid
Jason Case.
Yeah, he's
Justin or Jason?
I think it was Jason or Justin. I thought Jason.
There's a Justin, I think, from the West Coast. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
Different guy.
he was like a vert skater.
Oh, okay.
This dude they brought up there named Paul Tutel. I'm pretty sure that's his name. He was better than all of them.
There's always that guy.
Oh, dude, he was unreal.
That's rad.
And that's the thing.
It's a heavy list to be better than.
Dude, I know, and that's the thing. And then the guys from New Bedford would come too.
Oh yeah.
Paiva,
JV. Martin, I bet.
Yep. Emmett Bennett.
Emmett, yep.
Um,
Ryan.
Dude.
all those
And that's the thing too. It was cool because I got to meet, and then we would go downtown and skate Prov.
Yeah.
So, but it's funny because I was a street skater, and then when Skater's Edge opened up, I never had access to ramps, so I just became obsessed with ramps. And when the Connecticut guys would come up, we would skate all day, and then BA and all those, and Judd and all them, and Eric Popecki and Justin and Andy and all them would go skate Providence, and literally Donnie would be like, "Stay here with me," and me and Donnie would skate ramp for hours together because just I don't know, we clicked. And,
you can tell Donnie loves transition, his back tails and
dude.
pivot fakies and
Dude,
yeah.
he's so good. And then he ended up starting to go to New England Tech, and he had a class for he's doing video audio.
Donnie?
Yeah. Because I think he edited one of the videos he was in. He did the editing and stuff of like a major video, but he went to the New England Tech for that. And he had a class on Wednesday early mornings. So instead of him going down to Groton, where he lived, Rose New London or Groton?
I want to say Groton.
Yeah, Groton.
Yeah.
He would stay with me in East Greenwich in my apartment, and,
Right.
and we would skate East Greenwich and just skate. And I spent a lot of time with him. I don't know, just he and I clicked. I was friends with the other guys, but they just, they would go down to skate Providence and the things like Brian Anderson, those dudes would do. So
good.
ahead of their time. So ahead of their time.
BA's been one of my favorite skaters for as long as I can remember, just because he's so big and like just powerful and front blunts and trick selection, back Smith, and then he had like tranny skating too, like so sick.
He
man.
was unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal. That's the thing, man. I got to skate and meet so many different people that they're just unreal people in a sense of just who they are, but then their skills are just like, God damn, man. Like, I have to say, out of everyone I've ever skated with, I have to say everyone I know is an inspiration to me. for whatever reason, but usually skill. But
Yeah.
but there's some dudes like BA and Donnie and stuff were literally like they were up here, and I tried to get up to that level. But they just,
Superstars. Yeah.
even Pepecky too. He was just one
Yeah,
of those.
dude.
Oh, so good. Andy's everybody, all those dudes were just so ahead of their time, and it's funny
And they
too.
made their impact too. That's what
Oh,
tells, like,
dude,
all those names, people know them.
dude,
You know, like those guys
dude.
put work in and like
Yeah,
got their name out there when
yeah,
skating was not
yeah,
what it is
yeah,
today. You know,
yeah,
like you really had to pursue it and like put
yeah,
yourself out there.
yep.
And I'm
And
thankful for that,
dude,
dude.
and that's the thing
They
too.
inspired
Like,
the fuck out of me.
yeah, but that's the thing too. Like, you got the Pepecky grind, the barley
Yeah,
grind. Like,
that's true.
dude, like,
And tricks named after him.
yeah, and just even tricks that like they're known for.
Yeah.
I say like everybody says Donnie's like got one of the best frontside threes like ever.
Yeah.
Like,
He
I mean,
won Street Style of the Year for like
yeah, dude,
Transworld, I think, back in the day
dude, and
too.
that's the thing, man. And that's what I mean. I think growing up with a bunch of those people, like I knew them before other people, so it wasn't like they were on a pedestal or anything, and they're just normal dudes,
Yeah.
and it, like one of those things where it's like, and then pros would come around and I'd be all gushing and like, oh, I don't know if I want
Fangirl.
to go up to talk to Hosoi because I know so much about him,
Yeah, you're a fan of skateboarding. You're like stories and know about people. I'm like that
I've
too.
met so many people, man.
I
And
used to read every interview I could get in
dude,
magazines. That was
dude,
like the best when you
dude,
could figure, because it was like this person skates. We love skating. I want to
dude.
know what that person's like
Yep,
too, because that's
yep.
that common thread, you know.
And the thing that really was humbling for me was meeting them, having them do a demo, and watching them, and they were having a bad day. Where I would look at them and be like, because you and I don't know how much you did, but I grew up on videotapes
Yeah.
of whatever, and those were a year after the fact. Those were a year after, so
Oh
literally,
yeah,
and I
dude.
didn't even realize that until I remember one of the most impactful ones that I ever did. Saw a demo of, and I actually spent the weekend with them. Was the Donger, Kian Liu,
Yeah, Ken
and
Liu is so good.
Sheffy, and they came and they did a demo, and I ended up spending the weekend with them, going out to see a movie. We went out to eat and everything like that. And
Did
hung
he
out
have
with
his
them.
ponytail?
Oh yeah,
Dude, that thing is
oh yeah,
badass.
oh, dude, and that's when Life was just came out.
That was a little before me, but I know
Yep,
about it.
yep.
Yeah.
So they
He
were
had
huge.
highest ollie for a while, didn't he?
Oh, dude, yeah.
I'm
And the
pretty
front
sure.
side
Then like
threes,
Danny
too.
Wainwright took him out or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Like,
But
oh, his front threes were amazing too. Yeah,
huge.
dude.
That's how I learned them from him.
His
He showed
style
me
was
how
so solid,
yeah,
dude.
dude.
Yeah.
So we hung out with them, but it was funny because I remember they walked in Skater's Edge, and I'm looking at him, and I was like, whatever. And I walked over and I looked at his board, and they were the first people I ever saw that had trucks right on the board, where all of us were like, what? Like what? And
Wait, what do you mean?
we were all riding risers. We all had riser pads.
No
and like,
riser, yeah.
Yeah, and literally we're like, what's this? And we're like, oh, that's what they're doing out there. And we're like, we didn't see that in the videos. Like one of those things where literally like, holy crap. And then I realized like, dude, we're so far behind on the East Coast because the tapes we're getting. I didn't think about that. They're being
Yeah.
filmed and edited, and a year later, and I don't know. It was just very.
That's kind
humbling.
of dope though. It kind of like helps you have nostalgia for other skaters. Like if you're
Dude.
watching it, I know growing up I like watch so many skaters. And I meet them and figure out their age. And I'm like, we're like the same age.
Dude.
But I feel like I'm a fan of yours.
I know.
Like I was a kid watching you.
Yeah, yeah.
That's crazy because you're
Yep.
just on the East Coast. You
Dude,
know,
that's
you get VHS tapes.
That's it.
401s connect you to a lot of people too. You ever
Yeah.
watch those ones?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So many skaters.
yep.
And they did tons of like cool interviews and skits
Yep.
and like
and did upcoming
fucking-
kids too. With
Yeah.
the Wheels of Fortune. So
Wheels
that
of
was-
Fortunes were so
dude,
dope.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
dude.
think Randy Gray. I skated with him. He's from Warwick. I think he did one.
What?
He skated for Shep's Giant. Yeah, when Shep
That's
went
sick.
out West Coast and started. I think he started Giant or
Obey.
no, it was before that. It was before that.
Hmm.
He went out to the West Coast, and so that's when
There
he
was
making a name
Giant
for-
distribution for a while. I don't know where that one was from,
Yeah.
but dude, that's so crazy.
Yeah.
I haven't thought about Donger in a long time.
Oh, dude, but that's what I mean.
His trick, so much pop. His kickflip was wild,
Oh,
but like
dude.
amazing, you
Dude,
know.
and he would grab like
Yeah,
melon or
straight
whatever. Where
grabs
it's like,
it.
dude, like how did? That's what I mean, man. And it's just one of those things where again, you skate with them, and if they're having a bad day, then you look at them.
Yeah.
Like, dude, they get dressed just like I do. They put one
Yeah.
leg on at a time. And it's
Amen,
just like-
brother.
but that again was very humbling and also made me feel great because you're watching these dudes and they didn't show videos back then of them slamming and everything.
Yeah.
Never.
Just
I think
the makes,
Hocus
bro.
I think Hocus Pocus had the first like real slam section or something.
Slam
where, like,
section.
Yeah, well, it was just what it's just like, dude, man, like wow.
Some good trophies. The slam section.
Yeah, but I mean, it made it realistic that they were good, but you could be just as good. They aren't robots. In
Yeah,
other words,
there can be battle.
dude.
They're battling for what their best is or
Yeah,
whatever. You know,
yeah, yeah.
it's like filming a trick. You know, you're like trying to do something that's a little out of your reach, but you work your way up there.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
or sometimes people just full send, but.
yeah.
A lot of video
Which,
parts that are sick is like you can tell the person's at the line and they're skating and
dude,
pushing themselves
dude.
and maybe they're traveling or
Yep,
and
yep.
they're I don't know. That's like some of the best things,
That's
dude.
why I think though that we could watch those videos and relate, like you said, because we know the struggle. They might be better than us, or you might be just as good, or whatever. But
Video part's universal, dude. I don't care how good you are, how
yeah,
if you're creative, if you like people can create video parts
dude.
like that's like a fun process to do.
See,
Everyone just works on their skating too, like individually.
yeah,
Like I have tricks I'm doing, tricks you're doing,
yeah,
like
yeah,
different
yeah.
times. It's crazy.
So that's one thing that I wanna bring up because I want to ask you and I want to ask all the people that are watching and
Oh, oh
this
damn.
this is kind of like deep for me because I feel like in any sport there's a point where you won't go past, if that makes sense. So I'll put this to you and I'll put this to everybody because I want people to literally like comment and tell me like whatever. Like I want to ask Tony Hawk, Danny Way, Sluggo, all like all vert skaters, Jamie
Ooh, vert
Thomas, like
skating.
but even Jamie Thomas, the leap of faith. Anyone that went to Love Park and did stuff down the stairs into the fountain, everything. Like I really want to ask, and I want them to go ask their parents. As a child, did their parents throw them up in the air a lot and stuff like that? Like how do they? How do they? Does that make sense? Like literally,
Jamie was getting thrown off of walls then
but
as a baby.
but any of those people that, and that's why I say though, like when I went to Love Park for the first time, I walked up, I looked at the sign, and I walked and I looked down and I went, okay, yeah, I'll
Yeah.
never, no, I will never be pro. There's no way no, and then I walked down and looked up and I'm like, oh yeah, no man, like I'm sorry, no,
Yeah.
um,
Well, that's smart of you because there's like a self-destructive behavior too. Like with certain things, you like some people are more risk adverse, you know, and some people are willing to do damage. I know, like for me, growing up skating and filming video parts for so long, like there's a lot of damage I did to my body, but I was
Yeah.
like, it was sick to land those tricks and
See.
like. And I was scared of a lot of shit I tried, like in my video
See.
parts,
Yeah,
like work my way up to the line, and I'm still
Dude.
like, there's a few Hail Marys where you're like, just sending it.
See, then that's what I wanted to ask you because when I install DVD players and video all the time, I always use that video "Welcome to Zoo York."
Oh
with
yeah,
in your part.
yeah. Me, Brandon, Susky,
dude, and Donnie, and so
Donnie.
literally, so I
That's
just
right.
play, and I have everyone in the store that watches that video. They use that DVD to like
Yeah.
test and stuff. It's just one of my favorites.
That video came to be because me, Brandon, and Susky and Donnie all went to New York, you know,
Yes, that yeah.
and like
yeah.
it was like
And plus, dude, they're East Coast guys.
yeah,
so,
New
like,
England,
yep,
Zoo
yep,
England,
and Zared Basket. Yeah,
Zared's
yep,
amazing.
Yep. Oh, dude,
Chatham in the building.
Yeah,
Zared Bassett, frontside 360. I think early grab, take his feet off over a spine
Oh yeah,
when he was like mad little with pads on and
dude.
stuff.
I hung out with him and Ryan Gallant at Civil. They were
Dude,
there.
shout out Ryan.
Oh, dude, those dudes were the coolest dudes, absolutely unbelievable. Where I'm like looking at them and I'm like, why are you talking to me? You know, like, but they were super cool. But
Dude, Ryan's killing it. He's got Visit skateboards and he's heat press and just building cool stuff.
dude,
And
man.
seems like he's doing it rad. Always skating ledges, super good at all his tech trick, good style,
Yeah.
really good parts.
But your part that you do that 3-flip down that huge gap, how, where the hell was that, and how did you like that was the hugest thing. And then another thing I literally remember, I just had this cold chill down my spine when I watched you in that video, backside flip, backside tail that rail,
Oh,
and I
damn.
was with my friends, and literally they were just like, like,
Sick.
dude, how the.
That one came actually easy. I was surprised. I've had some battles, dude, where I just fucking have gone back like 4 or 5 times,
Yeah.
had heat exhaustion, like
But-
didn't drink water, came so
Where was
close,
that?
bailed.
Where was
the kickflip back tail?
Yeah.
Far Rockaway, New York.
No shit.
That rail's perfect. The bricks leading up to it are a little
Yeah,
weird. They're
see?
wonky East
Yeah,
Coast.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, I worked really hard on the kickflip back tail, the fakie, because I was like, I just kept picturing that one, and I filmed it on some park rails. I got back to.
How would you? I still to this day, and I watch it all the time. I just sit in the vehicles and watch your part and watch everybody's parts. I don't understand how you could be so confident, and that's what I say about the dudes with Love Park and doing all this. Like, you have to try.
Oh,
You
dude,
have
there's a
like
line. Yeah.
but like, what happened when you didn't like land it, or like you're not lands? Like, did you land on the board and did it shoot out, or did you ever like? I could just think of like just
You name it,
land
dude. Some
That's
tricks, some
insane.
tricks it takes like you're almost playing out a series of like everything that's
Yeah,
possible
yeah,
until you can find the landing.
yeah.
So like depending on how hard the trick is and how well you have the trick, like you worked on it and the spot is, and then if there's if it's crusty, it's like sometimes the spot is just like a challenge in itself. But like
Yep.
I'll like obsess over tricks and like try to like get them to feel good, and I do things like thousands of
Yeah,
times, and
yeah.
like and then you just like start trying to when you start filming a video part, it's amazing because you get a few spots and you get a few tricks you're proud of, or a line or something, or
Yeah.
you just find something that's like, oh, and then you start collecting clips, and then if you're saving it for a little bit, it's like you start to see, it takes form, you know.
Yeah,
You can start to
yeah.
see like what you're skating, and it's so sick. Like, and then yeah, dudes, there's some crazy video parts out there, man.
Yeah.
That's like my testament of like a pro skateboarder is
Yeah,
like
yeah.
having video parts
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's your skating.
But
What's
even the
sick is
stuff
you can
that
have video parts in team videos.
yes,
Just sick
yeah,
and
yeah.
still like
But
work
even the
together.
stuff that I've seen you do and try, when you're trying that nollie heel at edge from the
Yeah.
big rent, whatever, and like,
Oh,
dude,
dude, I was eating shit
I
on that
know, dude.
thing.
But the mere fact that you get up and try again, or anybody, like, it just blows my mind. It blows my mind because, like I say, there's just a level where I just wouldn't even try that. I remember
Yeah.
going and
I
standing
can
up there.
relate to that nowadays. I was like, if I do that, I'll just destroy my leg and that'll be less skateboarding for me.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
nowadays, like I'm going backwards kind of.
yeah, yeah.
Because I
Same with
went
me.
from
Same with
like
me.
working my way up,
Yeah, yeah,
doing whatever,
yeah.
and then I was like, now I'm getting older and it's like gravity catches up with
Yeah,
you. So you
yeah.
have to like move your skating with it and
Yeah.
try to adjust.
It's so weird, but that's what
It's
I
kind
mean.
of sick though, because there's like so much nuance on the way down, kind
Yes,
of like
yeah,
relearning all these things and
yeah.
like figuring out what you can do
But
versus.
the mere fact that you would even try like that stuff is just insane.
Oh,
It
hell
just
yeah.
shows that you're on that level though of like, that's what I mean. I
There's
don't.
people that are obsessed with skating, like, and that's their whole world.
Yeah,
Like,
and that's how I was. And then,
yeah,
like you say, I'm going backwards. Um, it's weird because I have friends like that are really good still, and I feel like I skate better when I'm with them than if I'm
oh
just
yeah,
dicking around or whatever.
that
Like,
makes sense.
it's just a vibe kind of thing. Um, but I feel like I've dumbed down my skating a lot because I used to skate bigger ramps and stuff,
Yeah,
and now there's nothing like the Mansfield half pipe. That's my favorite. That's one of
so
my favorite.
crispy.
Um,
Did you paint that one?
no, no,
I
no,
feel like I think Nick said you might have painted that one, but maybe.
no,
Uh,
no. Well, that's one of my favorite ramps. And then my friend Corey Kramer, sadistic skater in Acme Inc.
oh, sick.
He has one that the dude who built what's that skate park that you guys just had I don't know if it was a demo or whatever. It's got the drop in and the gap, and then it's got, is it Uxbridge?
Oh, Uxbridge, yeah.
The dude who built that built the ramp for Corey
Oh,
in his
nice.
yard, and it's
Robbie and Bug.
one of them has a wife, whichever the one who has a wife.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name, but he built it. So Corey had me come over and I skated it. It's got the gator skin on it and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
The ramp was unreal. But it sucked because I'm so used to skating small stuff that it was a 4 foot, but it would just seem so huge to me. And it just, and I'm used to skating
Sorry.
bigger ramps.
I get it.
It just bummed me out. Because I've been skating like little 4 foot quarters and I go to a lot to the projects and skate that little stuff.
Yeah.
And it's beneath me. And then when I go skate something I should, I'm like, "Ugh," like scared. So it kind of bums me out. So like you say, when you're going backwards, like I don't want to go backwards yet.
Yeah,
If that makes sense. Obviously, I'm not going to be doing huge stair sets or anything, but when it comes to ramp, like I want to get back up to the 4 and the 5
yeah.
foots.
Well, there's like that's what I kind of meant was I don't know if I said it correctly, but I kind of mean like there's so much nuance on the way down that you can find new things to progress at.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
there's so much stuff to skate. You can skate like people skate into their. We already talked about it on the podcast, but there's a dude skating in his 80s.
Yeah.
You can still like do whatever, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Your
It's
skating
art form. It's an
matures.
art form.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But the thing
Anything
is,
you have in your life
but like
for a long
you
time, 30
and
years,
me,
20
are
years.
there tricks that literally you couldn't do that you need them still? Like, is there? I mean, your level is probably higher than mine, but like, is there something where you're kind of like, I got 20 years left to skate, man. I better get this one. Is there anything
Oh,
that?
dude.
Is there any
No,
tricks?
there
No.
was this urgency like that at one point.
Yeah.
I was like, I filmed a lot of parts. I was fortunate. I still am fortunate, but I was fortunate to like be able to get to skateboard for a long time and that be my sole focus
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like have like people support me so I
Yeah.
can focus on just skating.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I was really trying to build something or create something with it, like
Yeah.
an identity. I was trying to figure out who
Sure.
I was
Sure.
through
Sure.
skating, you
Sure.
know? So like, dude, to have those sponsors was sick. And I filmed a lot of video parts because I
Yeah.
didn't want it to be like a free thing. I wanted to like,
Sure. Earn it.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
prove my worth
Yeah.
too, because it's a collaborative effort to do all
Yeah.
that. There's
Yeah.
like a team manager, there's a brand manager, there's artists,
Yeah.
there's skaters, like a whole team.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a whole lot of stuff that goes to like a brand, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Well,
everyone has to
that's
work to
work
make the.
ethic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't
Yeah.
happen unless you do make it happen,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And you
But
got to
I think,
find people that are driven and on the same
and that's
wave
the
and the
thing, though.
same
It's a
idea.
vibe. It's a
Yeah,
vibe,
man.
and yeah, yeah. And you
So
just
like, yeah, man. So I was able to obsess over skating, and I just loved skating because it was like my escape from my childhood, sort
yes.
of,
Yeah.
or distraction
Yep.
from whatever
Yep.
was around
Yep.
me,
Yep.
you know?
I tell people that all the time, like regardless of what you're doing, any kind of exercise, I don't care what it is, if you're out there doing it, your mind really can't be on anything else.
Yeah.
And it's amazing therapy. And there's been times where I had the worst day in the world and I'll go skate a couple hours, and when I'm done I'm kind of like, like it literally
Skating helps.
or yeah, because it's a distraction and you can't think about anything else.
And like also you're engaging your heart and your body, so you're like fully
Dude.
engaged in
And the
something.
endorphins. I
Yeah,
tell people
you
that all the
sweat,
time.
your
Yeah.
heart beating.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
You're
feel
probably just like
alive
me.
because you're moving
Dude,
fast and like
dude,
creatively if you
that,
want.
and that's what I tell people. The body will reward you mentally and physically,
Yeah.
and that's I live
Skating
for the
helps me
endorphins.
do that because I wouldn't work out as much unless
Dude,
it was for skating
dude,
for sure.
And the thing too is like I started riding BMX. And,
Oh, nice. That
and,
seems fun.
oh, it's dude, what a respect for those guys I got from riding a bike.
There's
man.
so many rippers that come to Edge. That's
Dude.
where I see them.
Oh, me too. Me
Destroyers,
too.
yeah.
And the guys at Trinity I ride with, and just all around. But I mean, I literally picked up a bike. I have a really nice custom bike. I gained so much respect for bikers, man, when I started doing tricks and trying to learn stuff because, man, you cannot bail on a bike.
Yeah,
like,
you're going
dude,
down, dude.
and that's the thing. I've already had 2 concussions and 2 black
Oh,
eyes
shit.
from straight from falls.
We gotta
on a
pad
bike.
this guy up, dude.
No. I think it's because I'm so used to allowing myself to fall and tuck and roll.
Yeah.
But on a bike, I fall backwards, and I literally, it was probably 2 months ago, I was riding with my friend downtown, and I was doing bunny hops, and he bunny hopped this huge thing, and there was one that was half the size. So I'm like, I'm going to go for it. I just bunny hopped it, landed, looped out, knocked myself out.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
And, yeah, dude, it was like, and it's just crazy because when we skate, we know we're going to fall, so you just accept it. But I do that on a bike where it's like, I shouldn't do that. I should really.
Yeah.
It's just.
It's because
weird
you
to-
have unearned inertia and
Dude,
movement because
dude.
you can just, everyone can kind of pedal and
And-
you can go faster.
But looping out,
Yeah.
I swear you gain speed when you
Oh,
fall
shit.
backwards. Oh yeah, so if I'm going 40, I'm hitting the ground at 80.
Yeah,
And man, but again, it's humbling. So it's
That's cool. You found that too and you have fun
dude,
with it.
It's great too because I'll go to Trinity and I'll see dudes that I skated with and I'll be on the bike and they're just like, oh man, like this dude's really good at skating. I'm like, yeah, you're telling people that when I'm sitting on the bike. You know? But again,
That's hilarious.
I ride with dudes who are really good, so it's humbling because I'm the bench warmer, but I'm out there with them and we do 15 miles riding around Providence and we hit all the
it's good
spots and
exercise,
stuff.
good
Oh,
workout.
dude, unbelievable.
Me and my lady ride bikes.
Yeah, dude.
Just when it's beautiful out and there's
Dude,
hills, like you
dude.
go for a long bike
Don't
ride.
you feel like free?
My favorite thing is to get lost. Just go until you don't
dude.
know where you are and
Yeah.
then figure your way
Yep,
back.
yep.
It's very
Well-
good, especially in this digital age with the
Dude.
phones and stuff.
And well, that's the thing. I started taking my friend down to South Providence to get the Providence and stuff, and just going to hit and ghetto spots that we used to skate. And
Dude,
whatever.
Providence is awesome.
It's the best.
I've scoured Providence, like in the surrounding areas, just filming.
Dude,
So
I
fun.
tell people, and they'll be like, "Oh, you ever see this show, whatever?" Growing up, I'm like, I didn't see it. They're like, every night was down in Providence with all my homies.
That's
There's
awesome.
probably
When the
10,
weather's nice.
dude.
Oh.
Oh, always, and even in the wintertime, it was crazy. In the wintertime, when there was snow on the ground in Providence, we would all meet up and go up to the Quincy T station, where
Yeah,
it's the heated garage, and skate there. Like we
that's sick.
always found a way. Yeah, so it was. Now that we're older and stuff, and we'll have to hit indoor parks, but it was like, because I was talking to my friend Jay Molk about it, like we used to go shovel parks out, and like
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
still like I'm doing that now.
Dude, but
Like,
to be honest, today I was walking my dogs and I was like, you could skate in this.
yes,
I kind of
yes,
was
oh
like,
yeah,
I
yeah,
felt the heat from the sun a little
yes,
bit.
yeah,
I was
yeah,
like, that is refreshing.
yep,
Elwood enjoyed it. He was like fucking long hair, like just
yeah.
dapper.
That's the thing too. I think that we know that freedom of being out and being. I don't know, man. I spent more time on the streets pushing around for years and years and years, and it's still in my blood. I can't push around on a board skating like I used to, but that's where the bike riding comes in because I'll go ride around for hours with my friend, and he does crazy tricks and stuff, and I just reminisce of all the stuff I used to do skating. And
Yeah. Have you ever done a pump track on a bike?
now that I
I
live
think
right
there's
near.
one in Alston.
Oh, there's one in Providence in Roger Williams
Oh,
Park.
really?
Yeah, it's a mini one, and then they have huge jumps too.
Dude, you should try that.
I would. I live right up the street from there, to be
Oh,
honest,
word.
from Roger Williams Park. So yeah.
That would be
I
sick.
mean, honestly, I mean, I would do it to do it, but I don't know, man. I'm a ghetto fab dude. I like to be in the city. I grew
Yeah.
up in the country, so it's like I would much rather take my bike and go ride around South Providence and downtown Providence and
Oh,
East
sick.
Providence and stuff. It's just like being skating. You just stop, talk to people,
You
like,
could definitely find spots on a
and
bike.
that's a thing too. That's a
Being
thing too,
mobile is good in general.
dude.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
say
awesome.
movement is medicine. That's my creed.
Yeah, that's a
Movement
good
is
one.
medicine. So it's like, and I think you're like me too. On days when, like, say a week goes by and you haven't really done anything, your body is like, "Hey, buddy,
Yeah, you got to
get
use
up
it or
and
you
yeah,
lose it,
dude,
bro.
dude." You know?
I do like I go to the edge and do a lot of skate lessons and just like hang out with kids and
Yeah,
skate
yeah,
and that helps me go when I
yes,
don't want to.
yes, yep,
Cause dude,
yep,
you just live life all day and
dude.
you're sometimes you're using your body a lot and you need some rest, but other
Yeah,
times you need to get out there and
yeah,
even when
yeah,
you don't want to.
yeah. Because after the feeling of after is accomplishment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That's why I say the endorphins kick in, man, and it's a natural high, I
Definitely,
guess.
definitely.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you're fully engaged, so it's like mind, body, and your spirit. If you
Yep,
can combine
yep,
those and use them,
yep.
like, great.
Best therapy.
Yeah,
Best
dude.
therapy ever.
And it's like your mind is connected to your body, so you
Yeah,
move your body, and there's
yeah.
expression and movement,
And
and
that's the
like,
thing too. I could never go to a gym and work out like and sit on a bicycle and just stationary. Like I would much rather be out and about and wave to people and say hey, and like
yeah.
that's I don't know.
I'll do the gym stuff if I have an injury and I need to go do something
Yeah,
really light. I'll
yeah,
go swimming or I'll do
yeah.
like some
Swimming.
aerobics on the
Yeah,
machines and like
yeah.
long distance
Yep,
stuff.
yep.
But like mostly it's low impact skating helps.
Yeah, yeah. I think so too. I think so too.
I love flat ground too. It's like probably the best thing about skateboarding is an ollie and just flat
Dude,
ground, you know?
I've lost flack. That's the thing, man. That when you were talking to Nick about the inward heel and stuff, I wondered if that was a trick that you never really had that you wanted.
No, kinda.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I know I've probably landed a few of
yeah.
them.
I've done them, and that's the thing. I used to be so good at flat ground. It's all gone. It's all
Yeah.
gone now, man. I think the ramp destroyed it because when I skate ramp, I can ollie high and do airs, but then when it's on flat ground, I pop it. I'm like this high. I'm like,
Yeah,
dude, like
yeah.
street is really impactful,
It's
and
weird when you
it's
come into winter because then you're on the East Coast, you're inside skating a lot of transition.
yeah,
If you like really can't, you need to skate, you're
yeah,
gonna find it indoor
yeah,
parks or
yeah.
whatever. And then coming back after and when it starts to spring out and you fucking go back out into the
Oh, dude,
city.
and the first fall on pavement, man. You
Yeah,
can't-
yeah. But it's sick to be like scouring, going places and
Yeah,
like hitting cities again and driving around.
yeah,
It's the sickest thing ever. So all I've pretty much been doing for years of my life is just like
yeah,
skating skate parks,
yeah,
some work here, and then like going out into cities
yeah,
and working on video parts, like going out with the crew and everyone working on their own video
yeah,
part. And we're trying to find spots for certain
yeah,
people or
yeah,
like find something everyone can skate and have a
yeah,
good time.
yeah,
And it's like that's how our videos came to be with All I Need. It was like Good Eye was our last video, We just like collected footage for a couple years,
Yeah.
of just like street skating and filming it. Sammy's been filming the whole thing. So
I don't think I know him. Do I know him?
Sam Kern. If I
I've
see you
probably
guys
seen him.
near each other, I'll
Yeah, I've
introduce you.
probably seen him
Sam
before, but
filmed the Good Eye for us.
yeah.
He rips too. He rides for World. Uh,
Oh,
Sam's a
yes,
beast.
yes. Okay, yeah.
He has good like switch wally to like barley grinds
Yeah,
down hubbas and stuff.
I think
Sketchy Sam,
Did you
Sketchy Sam.
did you um did you put him on World?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Sam's
think
just been like skating. He grew up, I think, around like Lakeville, and
okay.
I've just known him since
Yeah, I
he
think I
was
remember.
younger.
I think I
Sam's a
saw.
man.
Yeah, I was gonna
He
ask you
hangs
how
out with
did you?
Kevin tons, like Kevin Clem.
Yeah,
Both ride for
yep.
World.
So how did you find the guys for All I Need too? Like
Well,
I
it's a
always.
solid question, Adam.
Yeah. Well, because I knew Billy. I've always seen him at the Edge, but
Yeah.
like I didn't know if you knew him.
Well, so today is Kevin's birthday, Kevin Clem, and
Happy
I
birthday!
think he's 25. Yeah, happy
Nice.
birthday, KK.
25.
Dude, birthday podcast.
Ooh, God,
KK in the building.
so long.
And dude, one of the first accounts for All I Need was just when we did shirts. His mom had a skate shop, Raza. His
Where's
mom,
that?
it was in Middleborough.
Okay.
His mom and his sisters and him would just like we're running a skate shop, and they bought some T-shirts.
Nice.
So it was sick. That's how I met Kevin, and he was mad little,
Yeah,
so little,
yeah,
dude,
yeah.
just ripping.
Yeah.
And then just kept in touch with him through Edge and through like watching footage, and
Yeah.
that's how I met Kevin. And he started riding for All I Need back then. And then Billy just through the Edge, ripping.
Yeah.
I'd go to the Edge all the
Yep.
time.
Yep.
Just watch Billy mature
Yeah,
into a
yeah,
full-fledged
yeah,
dude, you
yeah.
know, and keep skating. And me and Billy have been doing tons of cool stuff for years.
Yeah.
Just like demos
Yeah.
and skate jams and
I like
video
this,
parts
yeah.
and video, like putting all types of stuff out for years. I've just been skating for so long, like wherever I go, and it's like you build these relationships
Yeah,
and
yeah.
friendships, and
See, but think about that. You are out there doing your thing while these people are watching you, and then they want to be like you, and you're an influence and inspiring to them.
oh man,
So like that must be really cool because I've had kids say that like, "Oh, do you remember me? No, you did this trick and it's run and you blah whatever." I'm like, "I don't remember." They're like, "Yeah, I was this small," and they remembered, and
yeah.
they'd be like, "Dude, you used to." You know who was like that for me? Justin Healy.
Oh
Justin
damn,
Healy
Justin
was a
rips.
tiny little kid. His mom used to bring him to Narragansett Park.
Deforestation,
Dude,
yeah, Justin.
oh, he's so good. But I knew him when he was young, and we'd skate this little half pipe all the time. And I just remember like he was young, like his mom would still drive him to the park and everything.
I
And
love Justin's style.
oh, dude,
He's got like his like
dude,
monster style. It's
dude,
sick.
he's so good. And I just remember I would go to Narragansett Park all the time when it was up and running, and then I'd go down to Civil and see Guido and all because I've known them forever. And I just be like, dude, there's this young kid, man, that whatever. And I would talk about him all the time. And I think one day I walked into Civil East Greenwich and he was behind the thing. I was like, what are you doing here?
That's
He's like, I
sick.
work. And I'm like, dude, good for you, man.
Yeah.
But he was doing tricks that it was just crazy. His style and his progression was unbelievable because we would skate half and he would be doing tricks and then I'd go see him like 2 days later. He'd be at the park and he'd be doing something so out of the level that I saw him at 2 days ago. Where I'm
Yeah.
like, where did you learn that? Like he just, I don't know, he was good. And I remember once his mom came there and I think she started to film him and we were skating this thing going down a bank. And after 5 tricks, man, that's all I had on that trick. I mean, he just kept going. Where I was like, "Oh my god,
Yeah,
dude!" Like,
Justin's amazing at skating. It's crazy when you what you said right there. Like I see that a lot. Is like you'll see someone and they'll be ripping, and then you won't see them for a while, but they keep ripping,
dude,
and then you can see the progress. You're like,
Dude.
whoa, you can tell you've been really focused on that trick or
Yeah,
that thing.
yeah.
You've been working on your skating. That always gets me hyped to do.
But
I
the
think
thing-
that's going back to what you were saying before. It's like it's cool if someone looks that way at me, like
Dude,
that I inspire them.
yeah.
But it's like the same. Like when you meet someone out there that's like
Dude.
carrying themselves and like
yeah.
part of a community and like productive and
Yep.
trying to like build something, create
Yeah.
their life or whatever, and they're aware.
Yeah.
Like that's inspiring when I meet
Dude.
people like that daily. I
Yeah,
think half
yeah.
the reason why I liked skating was there's a lot of awesome people in
Dude.
it, like outgoing,
and
nice
to have
people.
them
Yeah.
say
And be
stuff
cool.
like I remember my friend Anthony Delvis. I used to skate with him a lot, and I had not seen him for a while, and we ended up skating, I think, the Edge, and we started skating around, and I never forget it. He was like, I think he went to Pawtucket Park,
Oh, hell
whatever,
yeah.
and he was like, I was at Pawtucket Park. This was obviously years ago, and he was like, I was skating, and this kid was really good, skating like the transitions. And I guess Anthony went up to him and just started talking to him. He's like, "Damn, you're really good like that." And literally, he's like, Burnside. This dude, Justin Healy, told me this dude Adam Burnside showed me how to skate ramp, and literally
Sick.
and Anthony's like, "You know Burnside?" And he's like, "Yeah." And they just clicked like that. But it was Anthony telling me, and it was just one of those things where like I was like, "Damn, dude, like how amazing!" And that's what I say for you. I mean, I look up to you and I see tricks that you do, and just even other skaters where it's just like you don't even know how powerful your influence is because you're out there doing your own thing,
Yeah.
but it's inspiring to see and to emulate, to be just like you, but we want to be ourselves. But you know what I mean? It's like that,
Yeah.
and so that's what I mean. Like for you to see the dude, what's his name, Kevin, be young, and then
Yeah.
and say with Billy, like they're doing their own thing, but you have such a major part in it, and you didn't even try to do it. You're out there doing your own thing. That's what I find in every sport. There's obviously people we
I mean,
look
like
up to, but
I've been trying to like with Billy and like Corey and the skate team side of things. I
yeah,
tried to find dudes that wanted to film video parts,
yeah, yeah,
and that's what I wanted to do.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? Because that was like what it. I don't know. That's what it meant to me at that time. Was
yeah,
just film some
yeah,
video parts and like be
yeah,
working on a project with
yeah.
other friends. Find people that just want to do it. You know.
So did you know everyone on the team before?
That
Like,
common thread though that is everyone's following in skateboarding, you
yeah,
know?
yep,
Like you
yep,
can help and inspire each other or you could
yeah,
even be a negative influence or
sure,
whatever,
sure,
but like people that just pursue their skating and like keep it in their life and like
dude,
a lot of people like it for me it helped build my identity just from learning to balance and
yeah,
figure things
yeah,
out and
yeah,
having something in my life
yeah,
so
yeah.
long, you know?
But
A
you
lot of
give
us
back.
that does
But I
it
think
for.
but we're the type of people, and I think in every biking, scooters, rollerblades, once you get to a certain point, you're almost giving it back because you can look at that young dude's determination and know that dude's got it or that dude's really in it. And it's one of those where literally you take them under your wing almost and be
Oh
like,
yeah, dude.
and just be like, all right, man, like, and that's why I say there's just inspirational times in my life that I can remember where I felt like I went up a level,
Yeah,
and
man.
whether it's acceptance from somebody or just that pat on the back from someone, or someone be like, oh man, dude, like I wish I could skate like you, or you're just looking at them like you can,
Yeah, yeah.
and I always remember telling people, they're like, oh, you skate, you shred ramp or whatever, and I'm like, anything I do, you can do. No, no, I said, dude, trust me, man.
Yeah,
So
man.
that's what I mean. It's like there might be negativity, but there's a certain point where you're gonna turn out and just be like, dude, man, anything you can do, I want to help you
Yeah, man.
get better.
It's crazy because you meet so many people, especially like for me in skateboarding, I've met so many people, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
That's half the reason I built the brand was because I was like, I seen the potential in all these skateboarders, and I'm like, we should just do something too, you
yeah,
know? Like, it's like this skateboarding is a thing that a lot of people love and need in their life,
yeah,
including me, you
yeah,
know?
yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like, how do we like do cool stuff with that, you
But that's
know?
the
And
thing. You're
like,
being proactive to people who you don't even know, but you know that it's positive and
yeah, man.
that
I try to find people that are like around me that are doing it and I can
yeah,
help out. Like
yeah,
I do a lot of skate lessons just 'cause like if I can skate with like little versions of
yeah,
myself and
yeah,
try to
dude,
smooth the ride.
dude,
So, 'cause
dude,
I was like a young kid at one point trying to learn to skate or like learn to manage my emotions or just learn to
dude,
be social and
dude.
things
Yeah,
and
yeah,
different
yeah,
interactions. Like
yeah,
so I don't know. And it helps me too 'cause I get to hang out with kids and
yeah,
like
yeah.
remember that
Sure,
things are
sure,
childlike, you
sure,
know?
sure.
Skating's childlike, which is
It really
awesome
is. It
because I
is. It
every
is.
ollie has like been awesome, you
Dude,
know?
yeah, I know. It sucks.
I had a
It's
question for you
yeah,
actually.
yeah,
Um, you said your father died when did he pass away when you were 2?
yeah.
How do you think that impacted your life?
I always think about things like that because I grew up obviously in
Sorry to do
Connecticut.
a 180.
No, no.
But
I didn't know him, so I don't know. I grew up seeing pictures of him and having mementos that my mom kept of him. And obviously my grandparents, his parents. Obviously, when I was young, I would see them.
yeah,
Um, he was from Tennessee. My mom's from Kentucky.
did you hear
So,
stories and all that?
oh yeah, oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, other than my mom telling me certain traits or my grandparents, saying, "Oh, you look like your dad," or "I look like my mom too," or whatever. But it's just one of those things where literally, like, I didn't know him, so I didn't really know my identity, if that makes sense. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I don't. I
I
don't
grew up
really.
with women.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you did, but
Well, I mean,
I had a bunch of sisters. My
Yeah.
mom,
No.
my
No.
aunt,
No.
my cousins.
No. It was me and my mom from like 9 or 10 until like 17.
Yeah.
So yeah. So um, I don't really know. Sometimes I wonder that. I wonder because he was a police officer too. So it was
Whoa.
one of those things where literally like at this time would I have been a cop or like
I could
a
see you as a
lawyer? So,
cop. Not that you'd want to be, but
yeah. No. I
I
mean.
don't know. We need them, I guess.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
we? I
Yeah.
don't know. Who knows?
Um. I don't. I don't.
JK.
I really don't know. I don't. I don't think about those things. Like I say, obviously, growing up, I always had questions and I always wondered, but there was. I didn't waste my time on wondering because I can't change that. If that makes any
You're
sense.
two, so it's like hard to hit the impact at two, maybe, or
Yeah, I mean that's the thing too. I mean, I
to
don't, I don't,
understand it
I don't
properly.
remember. I vaguely remember, and I don't remember anything, bits and pieces of growing up, obviously, but my mom remarried when I was 4, so I really don't. I remember bits and pieces of.
Did you have the stepdad was a good role model? Did you
Oh
have
yeah,
like yeah?
yeah,
How
yeah.
long did you have him in your life, or do you
From
probably
4
still
to
do?
9.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that helps.
yeah,
That's a role that needs to be filled if your father passed away, you know?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Again, I don't. I really don't remember much of anything other than having fun and having an Atari, and we had
Oh, hell yeah.
boats
Ataris
and
are sick.
always going out every weekend out on the boat to Long Island from Connecticut, and tons of trips in Florida and east driving up down there flying. Um,
That's sick.
yeah, yeah, I had a really good childhood, I think. Um, and then again, I grew up from 9 to 17 with no father influence, and I said my mom was always working and then she put herself through school. So
That's sick.
I
That's
had no,
inspiring.
oh dude, I had no supervision. I didn't get in a I think skating saved me. I mean, I like again, I was friends with people all over the map, so it wasn't like I had a clique back then either. um I don't know, I think skating just kept me focused on having balance, or I don't know, because I would have friends obviously in junior high school and high school that drank, and I would see them drunk, and it didn't appeal to me. I felt like I was trying to hone in my balancing skills on a
Yeah,
skateboard,
you're
so
saying
like,
that a little bit earlier.
yeah, I
That's
don't.
good to be aware. Like everyone's got to know which drugs they can manage. You know,
Yeah,
if something doesn't serve you and it's harming your life, or you're noticing that things are like going like
I watched
look
other
at what
people.
you do, you
Yeah,
know? Like
yeah,
sometimes even just our emotions are all kiltered all over and
yeah,
we become self-destructive, you know?
yeah, yeah,
It's hard to find like
yeah. That's what I say
the
too.
line, dude.
For having no supervision and being around people that did bad things, I could have turned up so much worse. I think. I mean,
Could have been
I'm
Flame
not a.
Boy.
Yeah.
You're more wet Willie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
I see that.
I don't know. I don't. That never interested me. I was always active and I was always sports minded and stuff. So if the idea for me to do something that made me like bleh, was not.
Yeah. I was
Um,
like that when I was a child too. I was kind of like anti it. Just
yeah.
because my mom was self-destructive with substance
Yeah.
abuse and all that
Yeah.
stuff. Like, and I was like, clearly, she keeps doing something even though it's not good. You know, like
Yeah. Yeah.
she's being self-destructive.
Yeah.
So it's like that's put the fear of God in me, dude.
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't want to touch anything until I could figure out who I was,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
like, and then I was so rub raw, like with my emotions and feelings and thought process then too, because I'm young and there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
So heavy to try to
Yeah.
have any balance in an upside down world, you know. And I think we all experience that, but like I've experienced that when I was younger, you know, and like the whole thing is so complex,
It
dude.
is. It
It's
is.
insane.
But that's why I say a thing that was really good too with me growing up, especially out in the streets of Providence all those years, is I got to see the rich guy driving by with the Ferrari, and I got to see the guy who was a drug addict that was homeless in the gutter, and it almost made me kind of be like, well, I don't think I'm going to be that, and I definitely don't think I'm going to be that. So it kind
That
of like,
helps.
um,
It's good to aim at something.
well, I mean, but if I didn't know where I was, I knew where I didn't want to be.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If that makes any sense
Process
at
of
all,
elimination.
and to a degree, I mean, you're using other people's demise or whatever for your own personal gain. But again, there's no roadmap to life. So, I mean, of course, I want to aspire to be the guy in the Ferrari. But when I come to find out and befriend the guy in the Ferrari, I find out he's miserable. He makes tons of money. All his friends hate him. He cheats on his wife. You know, he does tax evasion. Like, wow, dude. Like, you look good on paper, and you've got all the thing like that. You're not happy. You're
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
happy. You're not happy. You're controlled by this idea of wanting to be something that you want to be in other people's eyes or whatever. And then you see the people who made the wrong decisions, and they can never be anything more than they ever chose to be. Um, so that's why I think that kept me centered, because again, it'd be like, well, this dude has all the money in the world and he's still not happy, and this guy has no money in the world and he's not happy. Let me just stay
Yeah,
right
yeah,
down
yeah.
this road. And
Well, your real balance, your real currency is your time.
yep,
You know, like
yeah,
if you divide it up every day and
yeah,
like all those things, and it's like, what's that worth to you?
dude,
You know, like
yeah,
you have to like try to work towards things and focus on things,
yeah.
and they have to mean something to you, and like
See,
you have to things
that's
that drive you and move
yeah,
you forward,
yeah,
and like you have to build your future through like work and visualizing it and
and
aiming at
failing,
something and trying
and
to figure
failing.
out, yeah, you
Yeah,
figure out
yeah,
what you'd like to be and what you're not, and then you try to balance those out, you know?
yeah, yeah.
It can be like that. I imagine there's a lot of different rides, but
Oh, of course, of
yeah, yeah,
course.
yeah.
I think though, with us skaters and even like anybody who does anything extreme, we're
Snap
s-
into a Slim
we're
Jim.
we're s- we're setting ourselves up for failure. Every day we got on a skateboard, we're looking at crashing or breaking ourselves or something, but it didn't matter because we knew we had to fail to succeed. So every time we fell, we got back up. We might try a little bit harder or something. So I think that transferred in life too, where it's like, all right, well, I get a job and I ended up screwing up and I got fired. I didn't go sit in the room and cry about it. I'm like, all right, well, let me go find another job. You know, so
Yeah.
it's a failure to succeed, that you know if you're going to fail that you keep trying to succeed. And I feel like without skateboarding, I was one of those people where I let it bother me because I was reflecting back on something that happened, and it would affect me in my future of not trying it again or something. And
Yeah,
skateboarding was
yeah.
kind of like, whatever. If I fail, I get back up. So
Yeah. It's sick in that sense.
it is.
It's not
It
just
is
skating, but just like,
anything,
yeah, just trying to
anything.
do anything. Yeah.
Even runners and stuff where it'd be like, all right, I did 3 miles and I'm hurt. I'm gonna do 5 miles and I might be a little bit more
Just
hurt. But
being committed to life or
dude,
to something
dude,
in life.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
For sure. That's like good for people.
It really is.
Good
That's what,
things take time to build too.
dude.
Like people come into their bodies and their perception and the lights are on and then they
Yeah,
think they need to own the whole world and
yeah,
it's like you got to figure out what you are first and
yeah.
value what you are and try to go forward from there, which is hard to do, you know,
And I think too that
for everybody.
in life, I found out just from seeing both extremes. I see these people who could be millionaires, and then something happens in their life that money can't fix. And you know, all that stuff doesn't matter anymore because then they become human. And then your friends matter or whatever. I don't know. I just feel like I've had tragedies in my life happen where once you find out something happens, nothing else matters other than being with that person in their downtime or
Yeah.
whatever, or just um,
Dude, the loss of life will put the perspective into you
that's
for
it.
sure. You'll be like, oh
Perspective,
yeah, things are very precious.
dude,
You could
dude,
break your days up into time and
dude.
seeing like extremes too is crazy because then you can see the whole spectrum of the creator that you are,
Dude,
and that's
that's
terrifying.
it. It is.
And if
It
you don't
is.
have
It is.
control and you're not
It
aiming
is.
it, it's hard to be reflective and look at your own life and be grateful and be like, these are gifts I have, like the ability to
Dude,
listen or the
dude,
ability to articulate myself or
dude.
to be able to see the colors and things that we do and like
Oh, dude.
to be able to capture it and like
Yep.
it's hard to remember that, you know?
But that's why I say that,
Especially when everyone's fighting online and there's fucking so many shell games out
dude.
there.
But the thing but
Not to derail.
that's what I mean though, is self-reflection really gets deep when you watch somebody else go through something that you're glad it's not you. So if like you have a bad day, I had a couple friends that used to say like, oh, I'm gonna kill myself. Or I say, listen, what I'm gonna tell you to do? Go park in a hospital and go start walking floors and stick your head in and see those
Yeah.
people, because you're gonna look in there, you're gonna see some guy that lost both of his legs because of whatever, or whatever, where it's like literally now you're looking at them and being like, you know what, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to let myself go or whatever. So it's one of those again where it sucks it happens to somebody else, but you're finding your center where shit might not be good for you today, but you look in that room and you see that dude who smoked for 30 years or whatever, and now he's going to pass away because his lungs or whatever. You'd be like, all right, man, you know what?
Yeah.
So that's what I
It's
mean.
hard reality is that like we do have some we can be powerful creatures and we
Dude.
can be powerful for good or bad, or
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you could be like self-destructive
yeah,
and just
yeah,
be on a war path with life,
yeah,
and it's like we're all in life.
yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I mean? Like we're all here right now trying to figure it out. So
And that's what I say too. Like, there's so many things that are in the world today that are such issues that like they didn't affect us as skaters or even bikers or any sport or anything like that. Where it's like one of my favorite skaters. One of the reasons that I became so determined to skate is Ray Barbie. I used to just watch him
heel
and literally,
flips.
I mean, just everything, his
Choo.
whole
Front threes, front heel flips, back
everything,
heel flips.
everything.
So many good heel flips.
I would just watch him and just be like, I wish I was him. Like,
I
or
get that.
Javante or whatever. It's just
Yeah.
one of those things. So I didn't see a black person or a Spanish something. I saw someone that was unbelievable. Their skill mattered, not their race or their sexual preference, anything.
Yeah,
And it's just
yeah.
one of those where literally like that shit doesn't matter. So it just gets so played out now where I feel like,
It's the easier thing to do.
yeah,
The harder thing is to like build a character and then
yeah,
judge people off of a character and
yeah,
be able to like and not have to
yeah,
label, just be like try to read someone. It's
yeah,
easier just to label people.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. But in a
Tough one, dude.
But I mean, obviously, like, I don't know. It's we live in a very judgmental world, and everybody acts like they're not, but you are. So it's not a bad thing. But if I walked into this room and I'm wearing a $2,000 suit, you'd probably be like, "Damn, dude, he's got a lot of money or something." Like you.
No, I'd be like, whoa, you look sharp, dude.
But I mean,
what?
but
Kid looks
but
good.
what if I came in here and I was wearing like a
You had a
Speedo or
clown
something?
suit on?
Yeah, I mean, it's just.
I'd be like, dude, he's fucking trying some shit out right now. Like fucking.
I don't know. I feel like that we have some judgmental things in us, and it doesn't necessarily mean bad. It's what the person wants to portray themselves as. So obviously, if you see someone dressed up like a gangster, you probably assume he listens to rap.
Yeah.
Like whatever.
There's
So,
some reasons to like judge people.
Sure.
Like
Sure.
for safety reasons sometimes.
yeah.
I've been in that situation where you got to read the room and be like, is there
Yeah.
going to be violence?
Yeah.
Like that's like that's human nature.
Yeah,
That's
well,
our
that's what I mean.
nature. No, I don't people can get delusional and disconnected from their nature,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
your body is your nature like
But that's what I mean. It's how the person portrays themselves that you're going to pick up on that cue
Yeah.
and try to decipher. And then you might find out, the guy, whatever, is a symphony conductor or something. Like, yeah,
Dude.
man, I would have never figured that one out. Like,
You could- I do
you're
have-
in that Biggie shirt and the do-rag, man. I'm sorry. But,
yeah.
but that's what I mean.
You can have misreadings of people and be
Oh, dude.
wrong
Oh,
and
of course.
all the time. We're full of the whole human spectrum here.
Sure.
It's hard to like.
But it's pleasantly nice to be surprised.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. So, I don't know. I just wish that everybody would just cool off and just
Amen,
do their
brother.
own thing, man, and like just be
Amen.
happy for other people and support them and stuff, and like the world would just be so much better.
It's problem. One of the problems is, and for everyone, myself included, is that we're narrative creatures and we like stories.
Yeah.
And there's infinite stories about anything in front of you. You have the eternity in your phone.
Yeah.
When it's really nice outside here, I'll lay on my deck. We like have a nice deck that we worked hard to earn, and I'll lay on it just on the flat.
Yeah.
And I look up and there's actually stars where I live.
Yeah.
And I'll watch this like the time. It'll be like a time lapse for like 2 hours, dude.
Yeah.
And the weather when it's beautiful, like 60s, 70s, literally just lay around and stare into
Sure,
eternity.
sure,
It's like the most fucking therapeutic
It
thing
is. It is.
in the world,
But
you know?
you let your mind wander. You're like looking up there. Like,
Yeah, you're not
there's
just
someone
being
looking down
like
at me.
pulled like strings. Like
Yeah,
everyone,
yeah,
because a lot of it is our impulse. We give into our impulses,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
Sometimes we just need to relax and like look up and take in what
Sure,
is, you
sure,
know?
sure.
It gives you like a negative space because like you're alive and you're using all your perceptions. I can feel, I
Yeah,
can see, I can hear, and like it's turned on, you know? And then where you're reactive to that, however you are. So, but sometimes if you can get into like I like dark, quiet, expansive
yeah, yeah,
places
yeah,
that's like you can drift off in,
yeah,
and you can let things unwind, and you can like disconnect from some of your
yep,
thoughts
yep.
and your patterns and your habits. It's like really hard to do. It's like a form of meditation, you know? Like I
Yeah,
don't people meditate and like they hold that
yeah. I
space.
can't do that.
It's
I literally,
unbelievable. It's hard.
I sit there and try to. I mean, I've
Well,
tried it before.
you probably do it through like like I do it through skating. You
That's it.
drift
That's what I
off
mean.
through
I
like
can't just sit in
physical.
a room and whatever because
Yeah.
I literally in my head going, "What should I be thinking about?" You know,
I've been trying to do this lately. At least throughout my day, I try not to put on any podcasts for like an hour, or like don't put any on any podcasts. Don't go on any apps.
yep,
Don't have anything that I have to pay attention to,
yeah,
and just walk my dogs, or like
yeah.
take an hour
Because
out of
now you're
each
going
day.
down that path if you see something.
Yeah,
Is
well,
that
it just gives me space to like not be listening or paying attention or whatever.
yeah,
Just walking, breathing. It's like skating
yeah,
where
yeah,
you get
yeah,
connected, you're on your
yeah, yeah,
board, and you're like,
yeah.
you have to focus on that so you
That's
don't
it.
get hurt,
Yep,
you know?
yep.
It's the same in life. It's like we have so many gadgets, and then we
I
have so
know,
many
I know,
people.
I know.
It's not just the phones, it's you're with people too,
Yep,
and you're
yep,
interacting all day. So
yeah,
it's like a lot. You need some your space, you know, just
yeah.
so you can figure out. Dude, life is, you have to process life daily.
I know, I
So
know.
that's what I've been trying to be better about, is like give yourself space to process all the feelings and thoughts throughout the day, you
Yeah,
know, which is
yeah.
like hard to remember because we get carried away
I
with
know.
like life in general, you know.
I want to still do that thing you told me that pod thing where you lay in the water.
Float tank,
Float
yeah,
tank. Yeah, I
that's
want to try that.
dude,
I
that'll
want to
kind
try
of
that.
put you in that space
Yeah,
instantly
yeah,
because you'll be out in space because you're in warm water that's buoyant, so you
yeah,
float.
yeah,
So you literally lay there for an hour and you can close your eyes, and they have earplugs.
yeah,
You literally feel like you're just floating out
yeah,
in space
yeah,
physically
yeah,
and like
yeah.
your mental
I
state.
want to say when I talked to you last about that,
It's fucking
it's
good, dude.
yeah, I think that was at the beginning of the COVID thing. So the place, there's one in Warwick near me,
Yeah,
and I think it
some
was just
open,
like
some
shut
shut
down.
down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't know. There's some good ones that have like spas with them and are connected, but those things
yeah,
are amazing, dude. I
yeah. I
want to
want
buy one
yeah,
because it would be sick, like to do that like once every few
dude,
days because it's
dude.
like a reset.
Reset. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because you get to kind of like reset your senses,
Yeah,
your
yeah,
perceptions,
yeah,
and all these
yeah. Because
things
you
that get
said,
turned on.
that the perception in that is the floating, which you don't have the gravity pulling on you or
Yeah.
whatever. Like, one thing I want to ask you, because how did you get in to start skydiving, doing the jumping?
Oh, I just like confront it, you know. It's like this seems like my worst nightmare.
Yeah,
Let's just go
because
for it.
Obviously you start out tandem. How many times do you?
I've only gone skydiving like 2, 3 times
Yeah,
maybe in my
yeah,
life,
yeah.
but just challenge because I'm so afraid of heights.
So am I.
Dude, if I
So am I.
like if I climbed up to the second story of my house, I'd be fucking nervous. Like it's a challenge.
See, I'm all right because this. I was talking to somebody at work about this. I am afraid of heights. I don't mind going up, like climbing a tree. I don't want to come down. I would rather jump. That's
Yeah,
insane.
yeah, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
insane.
yeah.
Like
Going down,
literally,
terrifying. Sound.
dude. It
Yeah.
is. It is. It is.
I jumped. That's why I went skydiving, dude. Worst
Yeah.
nightmare. Jump.
Oh man.
Yeah,
I
you go
just-
tandem with someone, so there
Yeah.
is that aspect. But to me, I was just in the moment.
Oh,
They
of
literally
course.
pulled me up to the edge of the plane.
Yeah.
I was already freaking out long
Oh, of
before I got
course.
on the
Of
plane.
course.
I
Because
was-
you're stuck, man.
Yeah,
You
I was just
can't-
playing out the scenario.
Dude.
And then when I got on there and they hung me out the thing, that was the most terrifying. 'Cause
Oh my
you have to
god.
stick your legs out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I forget there's a
I know.
dude strapped
of course,
to my back.
Of course.
And just like he had to like hit my hands because I was holding on to the
Oh
side of the
my
plane, like not even
God.
aware.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Let's go," and I was just like freaking out. And then he hit my hand, and I was like, and then we like flipped out.
Dude.
And then it's just like a crazy rush. You're just like in a whirlwind.
Dude.
It's fucking
Yeah,
insane.
you hit terminal velocity, 120
Yeah.
miles an hour.
And then the best is when they fucking pull the chute, and it's like terrifying right then because your body is like you forget you're falling because you're in this moment, and then when it reminds you, you're
suck
like,
you-
oh my god!
Oh
I
my
thought for a
God.
second I was like, that was my death call, but then I was like, it was so calm. I like
Dude.
landed, we saw it. I was like wanted to throw up, but held it in, and then fucking so peaceful and calm.
Yeah,
drifting
that's
out
what I
in
mean.
that space we were
Oh,
talking about earlier.
yeah.
Literally, it was like he wasn't talking at first, which is sick.
I do that jump. There's a girl that I follow named Lexi Lyon, and she ended up doing that too. I watched it on Instagram, and it was one of those things where she's like, "Yeah, I didn't think I would wake up to be jumping out of a plane today," and I was like, "Dude, like, that's commitment, man." Like you say though, once you get the ball rolling, you can't pull out, man. I mean, maybe you could. Like, in other words, did they tell you, hey, if you don't want to jump, then you can tell us and we'll fly you back down, or was it not even like?
I was like,
Did you ask that question?
No, yeah, like I watched the video in the lobby.
Yeah.
So you got to watch a video.
Sure.
And it explains like basically if you die, it's like there's nothing you can do. You're dead. So I was like, okay, here we go. And I was committed. I'm like, I'm doing this. I don't know if we actually talked about me bailing, but I just got on that fucking plane and I was terrified the whole time.
Yeah.
And then the experience of falling out of the plane was intense. And then yeah, it was so calm. But that's sick you did it too?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't
I want to.
Oh,
I want
okay,
to.
okay.
That's why I say when I watched you do it. But I mean, that's the thing where I'm one of those people that I like. If I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it because there's no way in hell that I'm going to pull out. And then my friends, oh, what are you doing?
You got to do it, dude.
You have to. And that's the thing too that I respect that. But again, I mean, there's no way that I would even walk into the lobby and start talking to people without following through. There's no way I could.
You got to do it. Yeah.
You have to
At that point.
But so did they have a reserve chute? Do you know? Was it just one on the back of your tandem guy? Like,
I have no idea. That's a good question. I don't even remember. I paid attention in the moment, but it's like I'm kind of they're the expert, you know?
Yeah.
Just tell me what I can't do.
Yeah.
You know, like it was crazy, and the landing was crazy too. Because when you come in on the landing, they're like lift your legs up, and you're coming in on your ass.
Yeah.
So you kind of decide how hard that landing is going to be. And then when I got up, I was like fucking definitely spinning still. Because when we were up there, he asked if we wanted to do twirly birds, and I was like, yeah, just go for it.
Oh, so that
we did that, yeah.
While you were parachuting or free falling?
After the free fall, the parachuting, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like calm and everything, and then like then at some point he was like, you want to do fucking spins? And I was already sick and felt like I was going to throw up, but it's like, you're in this situation, you got to say yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then we did a bunch of twirls, and then we came in for the landing, and then I got up, and I was like, definitely like all over the place, physically and emotionally.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
That was the first time I skydived. And then I went again just because you just go for it.
Of course.
Like, why not? It's a good reminder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But dude, think about the mortality of that. Like, I mean, obviously after the fact, and you're down on the ground, you're like, oh my God, like, dude, like, what? How many things could have went wrong? I literally figured someone like you, like, you're skating and what you do and everything, like, you need that bar raised, you know, if that makes sense. Like, it's kind of like we get a thrill up to a certain point, and we're like, all right, you know what, I'm gonna go a little bit.
It's like
higher.
a relatively like safe way to experience it too,
Sure,
you know.
sure.
So I'm like, yeah, I'll fucking challenge myself. I like a challenge as long as I try not to destroy myself too much these days. But a challenge like that, like, you're gonna get out alive for the most part.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in a car accident. I think I've been in like small fender benders, but I imagine people that have been in gnarly car accidents. I'm like if a car flips or something, like that seems insane. More than skydiving,
I think that would give me PTSD.
Yeah, skydiving at least is like supposedly there's an expert. You just have to trust. You know, you're like, I hope they know what they're doing. Let's do this.
But I mean, I have that. And again, I mean, I think everybody does, but I feel like just I have this. Maybe as I got older, I mean, I used to fly so much as a young kid. Even when I was a little kid, my mom would just give me to a stewardess, and I'd go fly down to Kentucky and have someone with me to.
Oh, like when you were an adult, when you were a child?
Oh, when I was a kid.
Yeah.
For years, my mom used to just take me to the airport, and then
you were just drifting on planes, bro.
By myself, yeah. And obviously, I got taken care of by stewardesses and stuff. But as I got older and started flying and stuff, like, I'd be getting on that plane, and when you get on and you look in the cockpit, I'd be like, you better be, you know, like, dude, like,
you haven't been drinking, have you?
Dude,
Too many scotches, bro?
Or just one of those things, or it's like you see the guy with the thing handling the plane, I'd be like, listen, man, if I find out that this plane crashed because you got served with divorce papers this morning, you're like, you know what, that bolt, you know, like, So it's one of those where literally
It's
like,
Ron Burgundy when Baxter
Oh,
dies. He's
dude.
in the phone booth just crying about his dog's
but
death.
it's just one of those where literally like, if you're not aware of things, then you're just kind of like ignorant bliss. But it's one of those
Yeah.
things where you're like, listen, man, you know,
Yeah.
like we went to Six Flags a couple times, and it was one of those things where literally I'd have to sit down and be like to the person that I was with, and be like, okay, do you want to go on that? No, okay, then I'm not going on that right there. Like
Yeah, yeah.
like I don't know what it is. Like there's just certain rides I will not go on. Like the I forget.
I went
Mind
on the Harry
Eraser?
Potter one. It made me sick.
Yeah, the Mind Eraser is that
Dude, that
one.
sounds
I,
terrifying.
yeah, I wouldn't go on that. And I went on the Batman ride, and no word of a lie. Have you ever gone on that? The
I
Batman
don't
ride?
know about the Batman one.
It's at Six Flags.
Oh,
It's the
yeah,
one
I've never
right next
been.
to like,
That's sick.
dude.
Should I go?
Listen. Um, yeah, it's safe. Whatever. Again, but I just remember sitting on the ride, and we're sitting there, and we just to start to go up this thing, and I look over, and there's a guy in a lake in a canoe, and the guy went from like normal size to like where I'm like, oh my god, and we
Yeah.
hit the crest at the very top of the thing,
terrifying.
and dude, I held on, and I just leaned forward, and I was in the fetal position the whole time, dude. I don't even know what happened. And dude, we get off, we go look, and you'd see the picture of you. Man, I'm telling you, my head was so far
The photo
down,
of you,
like,
right?
dude. I was folded in half,
Oh,
dude.
the fetal, yeah.
Oh, dude, and it was one of those like, you want the picture on? Yeah, no, man. Like, look, dude,
So your back.
dude.
Dude.
Exactly, man. Like, it's like, oh, dude,
That's hilarious.
I was so scared. And then at the Big E Fair, too.
They're like, this thing got control over this kid. He's
Oh,
flexed in
dude.
half, dude.
Oh, dude, I am such a wimp when it comes to rides and
Hilarious.
stuff. And there was this other one we went on, this like whirly bird thing where like you're spinning around, but then the thing you're in spinning around. I swear, as soon as we started to go up,
Those
and
ones
tilt,
terrify me.
dude, I literally
Yeah.
was holding on. No, I think it was one of those where just the bar goes over.
Or
you.
even worse.
Dude,
You
I'm sorry,
could slip out of those
dude.
things.
And I'm like, my weight in this bar, I'm going right there. I swear, like I was holding, and again, I was folded in half. I think my knees were holding my head.
Yeah.
I've never folded, and dude, I just remember the ride starting and the ride ending, and me getting off and like walking as if I was drunk. I didn't know. Oh, dude, I went and sat on the bench and just had my head like
Yeah.
embarrassed, but also just like, dude, and of course the people behind me, I just whatever. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
no.
I
no.
had an experience where I just threw up at Canopy Lake for a few hours while my friends had fun.
Yeah, dude.
I was just sick.
But
and,
isn't
like-
it crazy? Because they look at you and be like, dude, you skate and you do mental stuff, and that doesn't make you sick. Like, yo, I'm in control with that, man. I'm telling
Yeah,
you, like,
yeah,
like
yeah.
even though it doesn't look like it, I'm actually in control. But this,
Yeah.
again, like, oh, dude.
At least I have some control.
That's what
on
I'm-
balancing.
yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
otherwise it's just trust for
Dude.
sure.
And
You see the videos of people getting
oh,
worked on those things.
forget it.
Yeah.
Forget it.
You're like, it
Forget
happens.
Oh, dude.
That
no.
means I could be a statistic.
Dude, and that's what I tell people. I say literally, I feel like that's going to be my demise, where I'm going to pass away, and it's going to be one of those where like, oh, that son of a bitch, like poor bastard or whatever, and it'd be like, well, that's never going to happen again because this dude had it. You're like, no,
Yeah.
no.
I would hate
no.
to be that guy.
Dude. And
it
that's
happens though.
dude. Oh my god.
And it could happen. Knock on wood.
I
dude.
know,
Oh,
and that's what I mean. That's what I mean. It's just, but again, think of all the injuries that we avoided that we could have been destroyed in skating, and that comes up with you trying that backside flip to back tail on the rail. Like the chances of you being hurt permanently are so much greater than you dying in a parachute accident or something. But you still made yourself do it. That's insane to me. That's determination again. But you're in that mode. But
You
again,
definitely have
but
like a lot of those times. I like
Dude.
worked my way up to that shit from the ground up,
Oh,
but
yeah,
I like
yeah.
it was like beyond. It was to that spot where it's like,
Dude.
all right, I've done this, but like I want to push myself, and that was one of those things, you know.
But it's that to me. That's what I mean. That I could have never been at a level like that. I don't think. I mean, maybe who knows? But I just see skaters, especially now and growing as I grow older, and the skating scene just exploding with just talent. Where I was just like, dude, like,
Yeah, there's
I
a lot of
just-
rippers today.
dude.
It's epic.
Oh, I say one of my favorite is that Van Vark is his last name.
Oh, really?
Um,
I don't know who he skates for.
Oh, Real. He skates for Real.
Yeah, Tanner, right?
Tanner.
Yeah.
Oh man, I hung out and met him at the last Roll for Rob
What?
when they came there in Providence. It was a while ago, a couple of years ago.
All right, I got a question.
Yep.
Have you ever been to like any skate events like recently or like have you ever been to an what is it, street league?
No,
Hmm.
no, no, no. I would like to go. I don't know where those are always on the
What
West
about Dew
Coast.
Tour? You ever been to a Dew Tour?
I think I did the one. No, no, no,
No.
no, no. No, I only did X Games in Rhode Island and the
Oh, that's
Gravity
right.
Games.
Was it
Yeah.
they were both in Rhode Island?
Yeah, one was in
Providence?
Providence. Yeah, and the other was
Yeah.
in Newport. I think Tony Hawk did the first 900 in the Newport
Oh,
ramp.
wow.
Yeah, and then he like went into the water off of it. I think that was the very first 900 though,
Oh,
in
really?
a contest for him or something.
Because he did it at the X Games, right? Is that what it was?
Yeah, it was X Games. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
That's so
It's
crazy. The
crazy,
900.
dude. It was crazy because we skated Providence every night. We were down there. Um, this is before the X Games, and at the Civic Center, the convention center, they had the X Games inside of there promoting it to Providence to show what it was about. So we're all just skating Providence one night and someone came up to us. I don't know if it was I don't remember how it was, but they told us, "Hey, you guys should go over to the convention center." So we went over to the convention center. I don't even know how we got in. Someone brought us in and they had a half pipe in there.
What?
And the Water Brothers guys were there.
Hell
And
yeah.
we ended up hanging out and I think we skated the ramp. It was a pretty decent sized ramp there. Those guys were shredding like the Water Brothers team. Those guys were so
Yeah.
rad. But we ended up skating in it just because they wanted skaters to whatever. And they had all the different things inside of there to show Providence what it was going to be like on a smaller scale. And we skated and we hung out there and it was cool because it was just like big wig people there, I guess, in Providence and
Yeah.
just there to like see what it was about. They were showcasing it. And I remember all of us were on such a mental high from that we literally packed in, I think this dude Pete Van Sciver's car, and we drove down to New York City and we stayed at my friend John Izzy's at NYU for the whole weekend. And
Damn,
dude,
that
we
sounds fun.
skated the Brooklyn Bridge, the banks, we skated. I didn't sleep for 2 days straight. We just
That's the
skated all.
best.
Oh, it was unreal. But it was just one of those things where it was just like we didn't even think about going to New York or something. We were just on a high and we just like packing a car with a bunch of friends and we just
That's
went
the
there and
best, dude.
crashed at his dorm and yeah. But that's what I mean. There are
Road
times,
trips.
but dude, and just spontaneous. And that's what I
Yeah,
mean. It
yeah.
was just one of those things where like it was unplanned, but we had one of the best weekends that we ever had as a crew. And like especially skating the Brooklyn Banks back then, it was like that
Dude,
was the
epic.
place to be. Yeah, it was crazy. It was so cool.
Yeah, I skate there a bunch, man. Like before I rode for New York and after when I rode for them,
Yeah,
I would just go to the city and skate
yeah,
all over and
yeah,
skate the banks and
yeah.
like just skate through the
Did
city
you skate the
basically. So fun.
World's Fair place? I never got to skate there.
Yeah,
Did
just
you?
skated around.
Yeah,
I like just yeah, there's so many parks now, but
yeah. I know.
like
I know.
even before I was just like pushing around the city to all the street
Dude.
spots and hanging out and
Yeah,
doing New York is awesome.
I know. I know.
And then we just even venture out and just get in vans and go outside New
Yeah,
York a
yeah,
bit and like
yeah.
fucking scour for
Isn't
spots.
that crazy that when we were younger, you could be driving somewhere and look and be like, "Oh, we got to pull over and skate that." Like,
Oh,
I don't
dude,
even feel like I had that eye anymore.
still
It's like,
happens.
yeah,
I'm still in that.
yeah.
I
See,
drive
that's
I'm the captain of the van,
yeah,
dude.
yeah,
So
yeah,
someone
yeah,
call it out, dude. I'll pull over.
yeah, yeah. That's cool.
Kevin
That's
did that
cool.
on one of our last trips to Florida. He was like driving by. He's like, "Oh, there's a bumper bar against the T-Mobile building,"
Yeah,
and I was kind of like driving. I was like kind of naysaying. I was kind of
sure.
like, "Yeah, it's T-Mobile. They're literally open. It's like 3
Yeah,
o'clock in the afternoon."
yeah, yeah,
And he's like, I saw him get disappointed. I'm like, all right, I'm
yeah,
going in,
yeah.
dude.
Sure,
And then he
sure.
got like 2 tricks on the fucking
Yeah,
thing.
that's rad.
Yeah, I was like, I'm glad I didn't ruin that.
Yeah, dude.
You know?
But it's just so but that's in us. Like I mean, I feel like I lost it, but that's one of the things where literally like you can make something out of
Yeah,
nothing.
just see it
Just
happen.
yeah, yeah.
Go with it, and see what happens. That's a lot of like street skating is just like
It is.
going out into the environment and
Yeah.
mingling and trying to get something and
Yeah.
capture it, and like
Yeah.
you have to work with different things and
Yeah.
different people, and it's like
Yeah,
interactive.
yeah,
You know,
yeah, yeah.
it's the sickest thing about street skating.
It really is. It really
Yeah.
is. Where do you go in Florida when you guys go down there?
We go to
Oh, it's
Orlando,
Orlando.
sometimes Tampa.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we'll drive around, go to like different places
Yeah,
outside of there,
yeah.
and like,
Because I
um,
skate, I when I go down there, I skate the Riverwalk Park in Bradenton. Have you ever gone to that one?
I
It's
want to say I
underneath a
went to
bridge.
Bradenton Park
Yeah, it's
before.
underneath a bridge, right
Yeah,
on the river, and it's unbelievable
yeah,
park.
there's some sick
Absolutely
parks,
sick.
man.
And there's the one, it's Payne Park in Sarasota.
Team Pain. Choo choo choo.
Um, Well, you know that Jake Illiard? Is that his
Yeah,
name? Illiard and
I
his
believe
brother?
that's how you pronounce it.
That's the park that he skated at and became super good, and
Yeah,
it's
he's a
right up
ripper.
right up
He's
the street
destroying it.
from my parents' house, so I always go there too.
Oh, sick,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, that's in Sarasota.
Yeah, we'll hit like Orlando, like the trade show, the Surf Expo, and then do Tampa once in a
Yeah,
while, and
yeah,
then go hit parks nearby and
yeah,
like
yeah,
street spots. Last trip we'd do some street skating too,
yeah.
you know,
That's so rad.
just have people show us around or whatever, you know.
Yes, yeah, yeah,
I want to go down south again now. They get the van, head towards like North Carolina,
yeah, yeah,
skate, say hi to shops, and
yeah, yeah,
stop
yeah,
in and
yeah.
skate parks and just go see what it is. Especially because it's so cold up here, and it's I
I
think,
know.
although I think they might be having cold weather too. I gotta check the weather.
Yeah, well, cold to them is warm
Yeah,
to us.
relative. I'm assuming. Hopefully, it's like we can have 50 degrees.
Yeah,
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 we'll be fine with
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Might be wishful thinking,
And
but
plus, they're so genuinely nice down there.
hell
You know,
yeah.
it's one of those where it's like, oh, I want to come over to my house and eat whatever. Like, no, man, you're only kidding. Like, no, come over. Like, yeah, all
Got
right,
some
man.
hospitality
That's
down
what it
there.
is. That's
Yeah.
yeah, really, really nice. I drove down there not too long ago. It was fun. I stopped off at the Tampa Park. I always go there. Always
Yeah.
go there every time.
Shout out to my homie Thomas. Thomas out there skating skate park at Tampa.
Is he from Braintree?
I don't know where Thomas is from. He's just like a young kid that I skate with, but him and his mom moved down there.
All right, because I last time I was there was a dude. I just started talking and I had your All I Need stickers.
Oh.
I gave him All I Need, and I always go down with Civil. I used to do Subliminal, and put them all over the park.
Well, that's cool.
And
Thanks, man.
I ended up talking to a guy. I think he was from Braintree. He was definitely from Mass, and he lives down there, and he works at the Tampa Park and stuff.
Oh,
So it was
sick.
one of those where like, oh, dude, like
Yeah.
talking about parks. He knew about the Edge, which
Yeah,
was rad,
sick.
and yeah.
One of my best friends, Mike, who grew up here too, he moved down to Florida. So I
Yeah.
visit him every time we go down there. He
Yeah,
comes out and
yeah,
shreds and
yeah.
stuff. Just like a lifelong friend,
Yes,
skateboarder
yeah,
ripper.
Yeah,
Dude, I learned a lot of tricks with. Keep in touch with him.
yeah,
He
yeah,
rips.
yeah.
But I see him every time I go to Florida, which is awesome.
Yeah, man, that makes the whole
That's
trip.
cool. You've been going to Tampa's?
Yeah.
Did you see some? Who'd you see? You must have some sick photos with some epic humans.
I haven't seen anybody there pro wise that I recognized, but
Oh, you went recently?
yeah, yeah.
When's the last time you went?
I think 2 years ago was a lot. No, I went last September. I think August and September.
Did you go to
Was
a
it last year?
contest or just the
No,
park?
not just in the park.
Oh,
just to
right,
see
right.
people. Yeah, I haven't gone there.
I'm
There
sorry.
was-
That's what I meant, like for the event. Have
No,
you been
no,
to
no,
a
no.
pro or an amateur contest?
No,
Oh,
no.
dude.
I want to go though. It looks
Yeah.
unbelievable. It looks really cool. That's the thing though. I only have like a week or 2 weeks to take off, so it's like usually I do it around March.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever, during my birthday. or
I just
whatever.
remember like demos being the sickest thing. Like being able to like definitely we were talking about this earlier, but being able to meet the pro that you've been watching in
Dude.
videos and magazines, and
Yeah.
you're like, and you get to see that they're only human, but
Dude.
they rip and
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and it's cool when you get a skate together, like a
Yeah,
skate
yep,
jam.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
yep.
like the best things. Those
That's
things
what
are
I mean.
so
They're
fun.
human. They're human. They're superhuman. But
Yeah.
to you or to anybody who looks up to them. But
The same
just
for me.
regular
I'm
people.
like, I go to these parks and you do like a skate jam. I'm more like, damn, I want to see who's ripping and who's
Yeah,
hanging out.
yeah,
It's cool
yeah.
to see the skate scene at
Yeah,
that place too,
yeah,
and then everyone skate together. Like
yeah.
that's super fun.
I
you
think
know?
I saw you guys do one at. It was either at that Red Alert or Hyde. I saw. That,
Yeah,
that,
we've
that- I
we've
think
done them
that
there.
was
We
his
have
name.
one coming up
Yeah, I
actually on
saw
the
that,
5th,
yeah.
February 5th. It's
Yeah.
just like a
Saturday. Yeah.
skate jam meet and greet. Come
Yeah.
fill up the park and
Yeah, yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
it's pretty fun.
Yeah, didn't you take a bunch of young guys up there too?
Yeah, they're all
Guys?
rolling, dude.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a heavy squad.
Is that dude Jacob?
The older
is it-
dudes and the younger dudes.
What's the kid Jensen's last name? Jacob.
Jacob Jensen. Yeah.
He's new to the.
Yeah, he's been ripping,
Yeah,
working on a video part.
Yeah, because I saw you like debut him at Hive or something. Like. you
Oh,
guys
he's
did a
probably
demo or
just
something.
was destroying it.
Oh, dude, he was killing it. It was
Jensen's been
unreal.
ripping for a while. He works at the Edge too.
Where's he from?
It's a good question.
Mass?
Yeah, he's from
Mass,
Mass.
yeah.
They live around here. I want to say Bridgewater, but I might be mistaken.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's local. Works at the Edge
Does
still.
he?
Yeah. And Jensen rips, dude. He's just a good kid
Oh,
that's
dude,
like
yeah.
is part of the scene
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like
yeah.
he's working on his skating. I want to see
Yeah.
like help him, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
I've been he's working on filming his first video part. He's been killing all the skate parks and like it's winter now, but
Yes,
like
yeah.
he's starting to creep out into the streets and
Yep,
work on
yep.
collecting tricks and like it's cool to watch him mature as a skater.
No,
Yeah.
what was rad too is watching you and who was it? You, him, and when you guys went to that surf thing.
Oh, dude, Evan.
Evan, yeah,
Mansalillo.
yeah,
Yeah, Evan
dude,
Mansalillo.
dude.
That was so fun.
It was cool, but it was cool though to watch you guys like. I mean, I tried to surf before and I almost drowned.
I was
Like,
so out of my element,
oh
dude.
my, yeah, but I mean, you had fun with it. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
dude,
But like,
it was a
dude,
blast.
oh man, where was that?
I was like the hairy shoulder guy
Yeah,
out
yeah,
there. Dude. It was like upstate New York, I think.
Was it? That looks
Yeah,
so fun.
I want to say
Oh.
Albany area.
How did you just go up there and just, or did you know you were?
So my friend Conrad, uh,
Was he the one who was good surfer?
yeah,
You brought
he's a
someone.
bigger dude.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
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 He was killing it.
Yeah,
I was
he's
like,
the
dude,
man.
Is he from up there?
No, he's from here. He's from Rhode Island.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but he just is involved in the surf world. Like Conrad loves surfing,
Okay.
and he's a sales rep for All I Need, and
Nice.
he just like had a connection with those guys who were the engineers, and he got invited. So he invited us because he supports All I Need, and
Yeah.
he knows that we'd have fun trying to figure out surfing.
Oh, dude.
And like so, Conrad and Evan both live in Narragansett.
Yep.
And they already knew each other, and then
Nice.
I met them, and then we just had that connection.
Yeah,
But yeah, he
yeah.
invited us. It was sick. We just drove up, went in there, tried surfing. It was super fun.
Dude.
Met a lot of cool people. I actually just hung out with some people I met there.
Yeah.
Like they just came up from Virginia,
Nice.
and I met them at that epic surf place in
wow.
Albany. And then they came up just to skate the edge and like
Nice.
do a skate break.
Yeah.
And they got a warm day, so they skated Lynch.
Nice.
And then they skated the edge like 3 days in a row and met
Nice.
everyone the whole
That's
session.
badass.
He was this my friend Jason and his 2 daughters and his wife all just came up
Nice.
and just shredded. It was
See,
so
though?
fun.
Like, we're skaters and we go meet other people and plant seeds and we always come back
Yeah.
together. So it's one of those where like you go to somewhere and you meet someone and then you're back in your element and then they come up. And
Yeah,
stuff,
it's
and
cool, man.
Yeah.
That's kind of how that happened. It was like I went to that epic surf thing. We all went there to try it because
Yeah.
they were invited too.
Sure.
And then we wanted to keep the party going, so we went to the Albany skate park.
Yeah. I saw you guys
And,
skating.
Yeah, I skated with like him and his daughters, and then with our crew, Jensen and
Yeah,
Evan.
Yeah.
That was a blast. And then yeah, they were just so cool and loved skating, and they had like a cool family unit. And then they were like, yeah, we're coming up there, dude.
That's
You want to
so
meet up?
rad.
I'm like, yeah, let's do this.
That's rad.
And I got to introduce his daughter Macaulay to Chloe, so like 2 young
Oh,
girls.
yeah.
Yeah, and it was cool to watch them vibe off each other and skate and like push each other and like they had fun together.
sure.
Like they met and
That's
skated for
positive
like
peer
6
pressure.
hours
Yeah,
together.
Yeah.
Like it was sick to see.
That's what I mean, though. There's a bond inside of you that you just know, one
Yeah,
of
man.
those. And it's like my friend, he went to Germany and he met a bunch of people there and they barely spoke English, but he was like, we didn't even need to speak. They do a trick, fist bump or high five or whatever, like, and then they ended up calling him up and then coming to New York, and he drove down there to meet them and stuff, and like their English was better, but they made a connection through
Yeah.
skating where you don't need to really speak, man, because your smile and your
You just kind of meet each other. Like
yeah,
you're like, oh,
yeah.
you skate, I skate. Kind of recognize
That's
each other.
one of those things too. Is like, I know so many people, but I don't maybe know their names or
Yeah.
whatever, or they don't know my name, but they know me from skating or something like that. And then you meet up, and it's like, oh, dude, you're like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love that. I love that, man.
It's
I
rad,
love
dude.
that.
Yeah, skating's been awesome lately. I've been loving watching like the young kids and like being able to try to be a positive influence and like help them develop. Not in like I'm doing tricks for them, but just being like an adult
Yeah.
who's a representative of
Yeah.
an adult who skateboards,
Yeah.
who's
Yeah.
working on something,
Yeah.
and like try to just be a good human that they have in their life.
Yeah.
Because it's so
yeah.
fun to skate with them. They help me as much as I help them,
Sure,
like doing the
sure,
skate lessons and
sure.
stuff. It's just like a reminder of like
Dude,
everyone skates. We
All-
could all enjoy
all
this,
these
or
dudes-
whoever wants to.
I met a bunch of younger guys, like in their mid-20s, early 20s, at a fundraiser at the projects, and we got to skate and stuff. We didn't really talk much and stuff, and then I ended up seeing them more often. Like they rent out Lighthouse, so they'll invite me to go
Yeah.
there and stuff.
Place
And
is
it's just
so
one of those-
fun.
It's just rad though, because they barely know me, but our skating and our rapport is deeper than that. So it's just really cool to like meet new people. But it's rad because I'm rusty, so there's certain things I can't do. But then every once in a while I'll blast out something, and like they respect it, even if they're better than me. but it's cool because it keeps me young.
Yeah,
If that makes it like I'm still having fun with it or whatever, and like maybe I can do 50% of what I can usually
it's
do.
just awesome
But they
to watch
respect
someone
it.
else work at something. You
Yeah,
can tell
yeah,
that they're
yeah,
like, oh, I want to try that. There's some intent with
yeah,
something they're doing,
yeah,
and they're just like
yeah,
trying to do something,
yeah,
whatever it
yeah.
is. It's cool. Sometimes I will like even clap just for like crazy bails and
Dude,
stuff like that, because like you just gotta move the energy
dude,
around.
I
If you can
and
tell someone's trying something,
I took my friend to Skater's Edge, and I remember there was this young kid, and he was trying a trick, and he kept falling, and I was clapping, and the kid walks up, and he's like, "Why do you keep clapping? I'm falling." And I literally, my friend's like looking at it, and I'm like, "Because you're trying, and I know it."
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and literally, and my friend's like, "Dude, like that kid was so blown away that like you were impressed that he was falling," and it was really funny because I don't even know the kid's name, and it usually he had to be 8 or 9, and I literally was like, "All right, kid, you want to get backside flips over the hip, me and you. If you get it before me, I get you a Gatorade." And I ended
Yeah,
up
yeah.
landing it first, and then
Cool
he ended
move.
up getting it.
Of course.
But then I went over and got him a Gator and I gave it. And he's like, "You got it first." And I'm like, "But you did it, didn't you?" He's like, "Yeah." And my friend's like, "Dude, who is that kid?" I'm like, "I don't know. I don't really know." And he's like, "That kid was like
He's
so
got a
cool
Gatorade
with you."
now.
But he was, but that was the thing where literally it was like, I don't need to know the kid's name. I don't need to know anything about him. If you're trying a trick that I can do, but I want to get back,
Yeah, yeah.
we're gonna play a little
No, you
game.
get it. Yeah.
And then and that's
Real
the thing.
recognize real. You're like, yeah, that was sick.
Dude, but that's the thing. And the kid was blown away that I got him a Gatorade because he was like, "What's this?" And I'm like, "You got the trick." He's like, "Yeah, but you got it before me." And I'm like, "But you did it." And he's just like, "Okay, thanks, man." You know, it was one of those things. But that's what I feel like I'm giving back at least now to the skate community, that where I go skate at skate parks and stuff. And even if I don't know people, which is very rare, but if I don't, within a half an hour, I'm giving them a fist bump or whatever like that because I know they're trying. And I'm just known for literally taking people aside and being like, "Hey, man, you ever tried this trick?" "No, I never did in my life. Here, let's go try it. I'm going to film you." And then they end up getting it. They're just looking at me like, "What?" And I'm just like, "Dude, man, like I can see, I can
Yeah,
see
yeah.
that, whatever." And just like, dude, like, so that's how I think people started calling me the legend because there's like, dude, whenever this kid comes around, the level gets raised up. And then,
Sick.
yeah, yeah. So it's rad that I'm known to be inspiring and influential and get people out of their comfort zone in their own mind. But if someone's doing tons of frontside tricks and whatever, and then you're just like, "Hey, try this," and it's a frontside variation, and they're like, "I never did it," and you're like,
Yeah.
"Whatever," and then they get it third try, and they just look at you like, you're just like, "Yo, man, like,
It's the best when that happens in reverse too,
dude,
because you're like, whoa, you just helped me out.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
that's
yeah,
crazy. I had someone do that the other day. I was like, they just like had an idea, and I was like, took him serious, and I was like, it worked out. I'm like, what? Good eye,
dude."
good eye. Thank you, thank
But
you.
that's what I mean, man. So it's like it's easy to watch other people do thing and spot it, but for someone to do that to you is just like, damn, dude, like you're trying to make me better and you're helping me,
Yeah, man.
and it's just that vibe. I don't know,
It's cool when you go to a skate park and you can tell like someone's there to skate, and then they
dude.
like want to skate with you,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you're comfortable enough
yeah,
around someone. You just
yeah,
have a fun session.
dude,
You
totally,
become like friends. You
totally,
might not even introduce yourself, but
dude,
you just had a whole session.
dude,
Like that was so sick. You killed it. You killed it.
dude.
Sick.
I
Thanks for
think
the session.
that, dude, and that's happened to me so many different times, and I ended up meeting these two guys later on and seeing their faces. But we went to Edge, and I ended up skating. There was probably like 6 of us there. Whatever night it was, there was nobody in there. There was like 6 of us. So we're just skating when you first walk in, skate up the bank wall and everything. We're skating back in the hip and just skating the quarter back and forth, and these 2 dudes came in, or actually one was already there, and his friend came in. We had masks on, mind you. We couldn't see our faces or anything like that. So I'm
Whole
just,
society can be masked
dude,
up now. It's a
we're,
strange
I
concept.
know, we're skating back and forth, and this guy ends up showing up, and then his friend was there skating and whatever. And one of them literally turns to me and he's like, "Have you ever been to the East Bridgewater ramp or whatever?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And like, he's like, "I've seen you there." He literally, and I'm talking, this is like 8 or 9 years ago, and
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
long time
You
ago,
just remembered.
because of my tricks.
Yeah,
And
hell yeah.
literally, and then I ended up
Good
seeing
for
him,
you,
dude.
dude.
But it was one of those where I was like, "Holy shit!" Like, how insane. And I've been to other skate parks where I'm doing tricks on a half or skating something, and I'll come back and my friend will be like, "Yo, man, those kids over there said your name," and I'm like, "What?" And they're like, "Yeah, they said Adam Burnside." And I'll come up to him and be like, "Oh, who do you say Adam Burnside?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, man, you skate like this dude. We used to know Adam Burnside." I'm like, "I am Adam Burnside." Like, "Oh shit!" And it was someone I skated with at Skater's Edge in
Oh, sick.
1993. I mean, it doesn't say much for my skill level that I'm still doing the same stuff, but I have I do all those chink tricks,
Oh,
like
nice.
disaster to Smith, reverb,
Yeah,
where you
yeah.
do all the stuff.
Combo pieces on the quarter pipe.
Always, yeah.
Nice.
I'm the coping ballet dancer.
That sounds fun.
And that's the thing that, oh, dude. So
Ching, 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 ching.
I'm known
The
for that, dude.
Trucks off the
Dude,
coping.
and that's how people know him. And I used to do huge frontside
awesome.
ollies and smash the tail.
Oh,
So people
dude.
were like, "Oh, Burnside's here," because I do
Yeah.
tail bashes.
My friend Tremblay used to do that. Smack his tail on the
Dude,
way
and-
in. So
oh,
sick,
dude, it's
son.
rad. So this is a crazy story too, which literally so I'm at my biker friends in West Warwick, and I'm sitting there on his couch. I just sat down and my phone text. So I look at it, and it's my friend Courtney, and she's like, "Hey, Shep's in town doing a meet and greet. You want to come meet him?" I was like, what the hell? So I meet up with her, and we're at Providence, and it's right near where Civil is. Or it was, the street that Civil's in. It was near the Strand. It was some
In Providence, downtown, yeah.
It was on, Westminster or Chalk. Whatever the street that Civil's on, it was over there.
Yeah.
So there's a huge line outside this place. Like, all right, whatever. So I'm talking with her and whatever, and I'm like, dude, man, I haven't seen Shep in so long. Dude, he ain't gonna remember me, whatever. She's like, oh, whatever. So we go in there. It's all his artwork everywhere.
That's wild.
And he's
That's
over.
wild.
It was, I mean, paintings going for 10 G's where I'm like, and it had books about him, the very beginning, when he was doing the Andre stuff. That's when I met him, when he had a loft, and he would be doing an Andre silk screening, and he had a half pipe over in the thing.
That's sick.
And I would skate hours while he was working. He'd come and skate with me and then go back to work. And when I would leave, he would give me a stack like this of all uncut Andre stickers. I'd just go home for hours and just cut off all the Andre. He'd give me stacks of them.
Yeah.
So anyways, we're at this thing in Providence. It was probably like 2-3 years ago, whenever he was in town. He did a mural outside on a building. But anyways, so he's inside and he's over in the corner, and he has 2 security guards next to him, and he's got a laptop and he's spinning and everything, and people are standing in line to take a picture with him.
He's DJing and
Yep.
he has security.
Yeah.
And people are in line.
Yes.
All right, I'm with you.
Over, and it's this whole gallery, and it's got all his paintings, and then it has this.
He's DJing and all his paintings are up.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I have pictures. I should post pictures of it. It's
sick.
just this really nice gallery, and it's all his paintings, and it has
Sick.
a pamphlet of him from the very beginning and how he made a name for himself and everything. So anyway, he's over in the corner. So we're standing, we go look at all the pictures and everything. So we end up standing in line, and literally the security guards are saying, "Come up for the picture, everybody come up, take a picture, and keep it moving."
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, here we go, whatever. And I ended up seeing someone there that I kind of knew, but I didn't. His name's Ryan. He's like unbelievable. Artifact Studios or Artifact Art. He's unbelievable artist. So I ended up meeting him. Anyway, so there's 3 people ahead of us, and the security guards keep going, "Okay, people, keep it moving. Take a picture and just keep it moving." He doesn't have much time.
They're doing their job.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm standing there with Courtney and everything, and I was like, oh, whatever. So it's my turn to come up, and she's standing behind me. So literally, I walk up to him, shake his hand, say, "Hi, my name's Adam Burnside. I used to skate with you in your loft." And I go up and I stand next to him and put my arm around him. He literally backs up and he was like, "You're the one that does all those chink chink tricks." He started literally listing tricks that
That's
he
hilarious.
remembers me doing, and I look over and Courtney's just like that, and everyone just stand there. Dude, we stood there for like 20 minutes, and he was telling that he got the security guard to get a bunch of stickers that he had there, and he's signing them and giving them to me, and I'm giving them to Courtney. I gave her a whole stack of all autographed ones, and we
sick.
just sat there and talked about skating his loft, and he's just like, "Oh, you used to do this trick and this chink chink trick and everything." He's like, "I used to be over there just like ding 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 ding."
Yeah.
And literally everyone's just, I looked over in the crowd and everyone's just looking, and I was just like, oh my God. And we ended up walking out of there. I was like, "Dude, it's so good. I'm so happy for your success, man." Like whatever. He's like, because I just remember him as like struggling artist and started the whole Andre thing.
Yeah, that's
And
sick.
but it was just like I walked out
Cool
of
to
there.
see some progression.
Oh, dude. But the mere fact that he remembered me and literally stopped everything, and we just sat there talking, and he just kept, "Hey, bring over stickers, whatever." And he's just signing them and giving them to me and then giving them to Courtney. And she's like looking up at me, and I'm just looking around. And I'm like, yeah, I didn't think you'd remember me.
That's cool, though.
But,
It's a
it
cool
was so
experience.
we left out of there, and we went walking, and we hung out, me and Courtney. And she's like, "Dude, man," she's like, "You were like a superstar." I'm like, "Dude, I told you I knew him, but I didn't think he'd know me, like whatever." But I used to skate with him and Eric and stuff, and I mean, his skating, God, he had the best Smith grinds I've ever seen in my
Oh,
entire life.
nice.
Oh, he was old school.
I
just,
love frontside Smith.
Oh, dude,
Frontside Smith grind, yeah.
everything. He could do everything. He
Oh,
was
sick.
oh man, he was. All those guys were so good. All the Providence guys that I grew up with. But
Papecki too, huh?
dude,
Destroying.
yeah, unbelievable.
Was he on a mission?
He was he
What was he like when you met him?
quiet. He was an untapped. I just remember. I mean, obviously, I had to make a name for myself. Like I used to skate Skater's Edge, and he would skate with the big wigs and all the dudes that were ripping, and I was just a new skater. So like, I would skate by myself, and they made fun of me because they didn't know me or whatever. And I just wanted to be like them and all the crew. And I just remember one day I was on a ramp, and he was on a ramp like that, and there was nobody else in the park, and we're skating. I'm standing there, and he's standing there. He's like, "Hey," and I look up. He's like, "Come skate with me." And I was like, "Ah!" And then from that point, we became friends. I mean, but dude, going skating
That's cool.
downtown with him, man, he did tricks that you just. Where did that come from? Where did you learn that would have like just natural talent of just like because at RISD they used to have where the RISD blocks are now near the water.
Yeah.
Up on top there used to be a brick bank with Jersey barriers on it. So you
Alright.
literally would ride up this bank that was humped, almost like the Brooklyn Bridge. You know how it's
Yeah.
humped and then it flattens out, and then there's the Jersey barrier.
Mhm.
The Jersey barrier was almost right at the top of the hump.
He would launch up to it.
He would ride up and backside pivot fakie down the
What?
thing and blunt fakie and just he would skate the thing like a ramp and we're just like, where did you like just
Gnarly.
talent? Same with like Jay Maxwell too. I grew up skating with
Oh,
him and
Jason.
like, I mean, just like where did you learn just natural talent attacking things where you're just like, dude,
Good
like,
speed, good pop, good
oh,
flick.
dude, the best,
Ripping.
the best,
I gotta look at some Jason Maxwell footage.
dude. all those guys though, like Randy Gray, Mike Lucier.
Oh, dude.
Justin Kelly.
Mike. Hell yeah,
all
Justin
dude,
Kelly.
like those were my crew that I skated with all the time, and they just blew my mind because their talent was so good, and I could do 50 tricks and they could do one, and it just blew everything I did. Like just so many, all the crew that I grew up with, of every person I've ever skated with, were an inspiration to me, and I'd have to say that I had some jealousy because I wanted to be like them because they could do everything that I couldn't, and then
I
some.
get that. That happens.
But it's cool because as we got older and stuff, like we'd sit around and talk, and like they would tell me something, that made me realize that they looked up to me for something too. So it was like a two-way street. But like, and that's the thing too, is like hearing stories from other people where like Papecki was on Menace. And
That's right,
and
Menace.
he showed up on Thayer Street with Rodney Mullen, Team Menace, and
Whoa.
Mullen was driving them around. He was the manager.
Oh, nice,
yeah,
dude.
so they
I can
showed
relate.
up. Dude, so I can't even think of all the guys on Menace, man. I mean,
Dude,
Joey
Menace
Surreal,
was dude. There
all
was
those
such a
dudes.
heavy team.
Dude, I just remember standing on Thayer Street and looking and seeing Rodney Mullen, and Eric, and all them come down and just like, oh, and we met Keenan. I skated with Keenan a couple times too. He was really close with Eric, but I just remember like hanging out and skating, doing tricks with Rodney Mullen down the street where I was just like looking around like, do you know who these people are? But I just remember like one night Eric showed up at Thayer Street and all my homies were up there and everything, and like my name came up. And like there's whatever, and Eric's just like, yo man, that kid, like dude, like, because I used to try to skate like him. I'd watch him for hours at Skater's Edge, and when he'd leave I'd try to learn all his tricks.
Yeah, of
and
course.
He told them that he's like, no, that Burnside man, he was like, I would do these tricks and I'd come back and he'd learn them too, and like giving me respect,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it was just one of those things where like, and even to this day, all my friends, Justin, Mike, Randy, Gray, all of them, Mike Cardillo, Tony Capasso, like everybody I skated with, I still look at them as on a pedestal because
Yeah,
it was
dude.
like, dude, like I wanted to be like every person I ever skated with. Even to this day now, the younger
Yeah.
guys and the dudes at West Warwick that I'm friends with, anyone I ever skated with that I was in a crew with were my inspiration to be better and made me glad I was who I was because I was accepted, but I was at that level too.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And they were above me or somewhere below me, but it didn't matter, man. It was just hours of us doing the same thing, and like Donnie and the Connecticut guys and everything, like
It's
it was you live vicariously through other people and find out what things are going on through them, and it's just like, dude, like it's just this network of just positivity, and like we all wanted to be better, and we wanted each other to be better,
Yeah,
and
hell
it
yeah.
was just like crazy, and
It's cool to like know people for so long and have something in common and see each other and
yeah,
interact with each other a lot and like watch each other
yeah,
grow
yeah,
through like skating, you know?
and especially become a household name where it's just like, dude,
That's
like,
how I feel about Westgate because I'm always like, he's always like,
dude,
when I hang out with him, he's like this, but then when I think about him, he's like the
dude,
Westgate.
that's what I mean. That's what
But
I
when I hang
mean,
out to him, we're like brothers,
dude.
and then
Yeah,
I'm like fanboy.
that's what I mean, and that's the thing. That's exactly I would
I
say.
edit his footage, and I'm like, oh, dude, he's so good.
Dude, I know
Like,
that's it. I would say that everyone I ever skated with who are my homies, I'm their fan. I'm their
yeah, yeah,
biggest
yeah.
fans. And it's crazy because I have no children, I've never been married, but when people ask me stuff like that, I'm like, anybody who knows me, that's my kid, man. Like I love everyone as if they're my own kid because I grew up with them and shared experiences that I could have got no other way with any other people. And again, that's why I say at a certain level growing up, I thought things happen for a reason. So you can't really, obviously, if you do something bad and something happens, you should know it's going to happen. But all my experiences through skating and hanging out with them outside of skating, everything was for a reason. And again, I would not change anything I did. In other words, I didn't wish that I was a millionaire and have to isolate myself in some compound because I
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
go out and whatever. Like that love and camaraderie means more to me than anything monetary or material and it's crazy because any of those people that I see, some of them I haven't seen for a year, some of them I haven't seen for 3 years. If I see them, we can talk as if I saw them yesterday. Like I'll see skate with Mike Lucier or I see Justin Kelly and stuff. It's just
Yeah,
like
the homies.
it's
You're like
just
the friends.
dude,
You
man,
been to war together. You seen each other's session.
dude,
Yeah,
yeah, at the worst and the best
yeah,
times,
yeah.
and you remember those, and you're there for them at the worst times, and they're there for you and everything. Uh, but you're all built that bond on wanting to better yourselves and wanting your friends to be better and them to better you, and
Yeah,
so it's like it's priceless. It's absolutely priceless.
dude, yeah. It's cool to see, just realize we're all growing old and like that we can just
Yeah,
like keep it
yeah,
going and everyone carry their weight and
yeah.
everyone like keep building and working towards something and be creative and like it's crazy on a personal and a societal
Dude.
level of things
Yeah,
like the experience of life is just fucking a trip in itself,
it
dude.
is. It
It's
is.
surreal. That's why people run from it because it's a
Yeah,
lot to
yeah,
handle and
yeah.
interpret and understand and like
But like you say, as you get older, you look back on it and you realize how valuable it is, how
yeah,
actually valuable it is of the memories and the experiences that
yeah,
they are what they are, and you
yeah, dude.
can't change it, and they're the best times of
Just
life.
need reminders. It's like
That's it,
because like it's hard to remember. Life can be
dude.
long
I
too.
know, I know,
As short as it could be super
I
long,
know, I know.
and you could just get lost in some long stream of life, and you're
Yeah,
like, "Where the fuck am I?"
but that's the
But you
thing
got
too.
reminders that'll pull you back,
See,
and you'll
and
keep going. And
dude, and that's what it is. Seeing the homies and talking and just reminiscing about times and stuff, and just like, damn, dude, like I had an awesome childhood. I had
yeah,
an
right,
awesome life, man.
dude.
Like we have this bond that money couldn't buy, and there's people out there that never experienced anything like that, and you're just like, damn, dude, like I'm as wealthy as I could be with memories and experiences and skills money could never buy.
Yeah.
No rich guy could ever come into our circle and snap his finger and be a
Oh, I see.
homie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like you didn't put in the time, dude. Like
I,
you didn't.
this is
You didn't.
controversial, but I think Lil Wayne did that. But
Well, no, I
he
mean,
came in, but he kept riffing. He had multiple video parts.
yeah, no, but I mean, yeah, but you know
That was
what?
kind of a joke.
Yeah, but you know what? He embraced it and he wanted to
I
be
kind
it.
of liked his parts.
Dude,
That's what got me on his
dude.
side. He had parts.
But
Sick.
how amazing was it for him to humble himself and throw himself out into something that he wanted to do, and he wasn't
Or
going to
how
let
f-
anything
Or
stop
how
him?
fortunate he is to be able to do that. Yeah.
Dude, think about that.
Because think
Think
about
about
all the
that.
skaters you got to meet. That's good for
Sure,
him.
sure,
Yeah, it's good
sure,
for him.
sure. But I mean, again, though, like,
I only said it was controversial. I was just kidding. I just was cracking a joke.
yeah, yeah.
Because Lil Wayne is like a rapper, you
I know,
know?
I know.
I actually like the Carter. I like his music too. But
Yeah,
like
yeah.
him to come into the skateboard
Dude,
world was strange.
but that's respect.
Yeah.
He
I didn't
respects,
he
man.
dude, I didn't really care that much, but it was strange for sure.
It
I
was-
was
oh,
like,
yeah,
this
yeah.
is weird.
I found out what was weird when he bought Tampa Park. I was like, dude, like.
Oh, I
he's
actually
all
had a
in.
session with him at the Edge.
Did
He,
you?
he rented it out after a concert.
Oh shit.
Smoked a blunt with him in the
Yeah,
park and
oh,
skated.
shit.
I forgot about that.
That's rad.
But he seemed nice, like
Of course.
in general.
Sure.
But like to me, just being like someone who grew up without that, and then that's like a celebrity comes in or like a thing.
Yeah.
That it's always been weird. Like
But I
that
feel
side of
like it
skating.
humbled.
There's like a purist,
Yeah,
and you
but
want to
dude,
be
but,
like, "Fuck you, bro."
Yeah, but he wanted to be like us, man.
No, I know, I know.
Like.
And I like that he still, I think he still skates, and he had video parts,
Sure.
and he seems like a misfit.
Sure.
That's like a perfect
Sure.
fit. Yeah.
Sure. But again, he's already made a name for himself, and he's already successful. So to have to start from scratch at something, does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's humbling. Skill, balls. I don't know. Like I give props to that.
Yeah.
I really
Get in
do
there.
because
Get in
yeah,
there.
dude. Yeah,
Get in
yeah,
there, bro.
yeah, man. Yeah.
I
yeah.
like that. I kind of like that sometimes when skaters do that. They get like, because I was kind of like that as a child. I was like skating, so obsessed with skating. Everything was skating.
Yep.
If you hand me a turkey and skateboard sandwich, I would have ate it.
Yeah, yeah.
Fucking everything was
Same with me,
skateboarding.
same with me.
But then there's a point where you're just like, this is gonna kill me.
Yeah.
Skateboarding's gonna kill me. If it's all skateboarding.
Yeah.
So then you find something else. You find like, for me, it was like filming and editing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then like podcasting
Sure.
and just
Sure.
like working on the business side of skateboarding and building a brand and company and trying to like take me away from
Sure,
doing all the
sure,
tricks and
sure,
the stories
sure.
and like that kind of like when it expanded who I was, which
Yeah,
helped a
yeah.
lot because
But it's still you're driven to try something new.
it's because of
outside of-
skateboarding.
Dude,
was
that's what I
because
mean.
everything I work on, I'm like I want to work on skating in some
See,
facet,
of
even
course,
if it's
of course.
small.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
like
yeah,
if I can push skateboarding a little further,
Dude, yep.
so we can do something cool or
Yeah,
create this
yeah.
opportunity or.
Well, I think with your brand and skateboarding and who you are and what you've done is becoming immortal. Like,
Dude, thanks,
because,
man.
Yeah, but it's true. Like you.
I get
went-
stoked when anyone just supports it and
Yeah.
like tells me they like it or comments on a video, like shows support and like tells me about it. Like that fuels the fire. So it,
That's
like,
why I sent you that picture. I made that custom All I Need trailer hitch cover.
yeah,
And
so
then
sick.
whatever. And dude, I'm
Blows
telling
my
you.
mind.
Oh yeah, but I drove down to Florida and all the time on the highway, so I'm all tinted
Sick.
out and stuff. But when I'm driving, I'll see someone come along and they're just riding alongside me. And I'll be looking, what the hell are you looking at, whatever, like that, and they'll be staring at me, and then they'll drive, and then the whole back is like civil stickers, whatever. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh shit, dude, like
Skater.
I forget. That's it, man.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't like I forget because it's back there. But I know that they can see that it's
Yeah, yeah.
that big sticker or whatever. But yeah, that's why I say, man, like I support that. I swear, all of my hoodies are All I Need.
Yeah.
Whenever I go to concerts, I wear that black jacket with the skull.
Oh,
and
hell
the thing,
yeah.
I have a jacket of
The
that.
windbreaker.
Yeah, yeah.
That thing went so fast.
dude.
I should do another run.
Dude.
Those different color
Oh
maybe.
yeah, I'll buy it. I'll bet because when I go to custom car shows and I go to concerts and stuff,
Yeah.
I get comments on it all the time.
Chloe
all
loves
the
that
time.
logo too.
Oh, it's
She
so
rocks
good.
the shirt.
Dude,
like,
yeah, I have the green and the yellow sweatshirt hoodie,
yeah.
but the jacket I got. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. The Sabbath
The-
hoodie. That's
yep,
sick.
Yep. And then I have the
Yeah, dude.
I have the black. I have the camo that you fold into a pouch.
Yeah.
I have that one. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
rad. It's cool because like I appreciate your sport, and then you also get to see where that money goes because it
Sure,
goes
sure.
into like the van I got,
Yeah, yeah.
and then you see
Yeah,
the
yeah.
trips,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's like you're directly helping
Yeah.
all those kids like
Yeah.
experience their first time at Second Nature
Yeah,
or wherever,
yep, yep.
and then you get to see the ripping that came
See,
because of the
that's and
support.
that's what I mean, though. You don't realize the impact that you have on so many people. So that's why I feel like I always want to tell you what I think or show you that I have support because some people out there might not be able to say other than buying a product or something. But it's like, dude, like same with Justin when he did Hayride and stuff.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Like super proud of him to put it out there and like he was just struggling to get it out there and everything and like so supportive of it, like damn dude, like
Dude.
and him doing the bro models he was supposed to do them for me, but
That's
he couldn't get
awesome.
wood and whatever. But it's just like he's giving back because he knows that, you know, like he's on that pedestal
He's
to all of
carrying
us.
on tradition,
Dude,
dude. Yeah.
yeah. And
Justin's
he's
the
another
man.
one, dude. I
When I got to hang out and speak with him, he was super fun to talk
oh,
to.
he's the best.
Yeah, he's so
the
cool.
best. He's another one that literally his skills were just so untapped. And I remember he went out to California and he got on Tree Fort. I think he was
Yeah,
on
Tree Fort was sick,
Yeah,
dude. They used
and
to have blank, Tree Fort
yeah,
blanks. I used
yeah,
to skate those when I first
and I
started.
remember he came back
775,
for
75s.
vacation. He came back from vacation for the first time, going out there and coming back, and I mean, dude, I
Was he
was
on? Did
so
he skate for
jealous.
them or just like I don't even know. But
I
I just
I
remember Tree Fort.
Yeah,
It was a
I
sick
don't know
brand.
if it lasted too long for a
I
company.
feel like Danny Super was on Tree Fort
Was
for
he?
a
I
second.
think a dude Jeremy DeGlopper too. Is that who
Dude,
or just
sounds familiar.
DeGlopper? Yeah.
Dude, I'm
And Dennis went
Google,
out there.
Google.
Dennis went out there and he got on Vans. Dennis Vieira. He was another shredder. Grew up with Maxwell.
Oh,
In
sick.
Narragansett. Yeah.
All right, so to pull us back to Menace, dude. Remember
Oh
Menace?
yeah.
Hold on, let me see.
That team was unreal. And
Dude, Joey Surreal,
Yep.
is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Fabian Alomar,
Oh,
Eric
so good.
Papecki,
Yep.
Billy Valdez,
Yep.
dude,
That-
Stephen Cowles,
Yeah.
Lee Smith, Javier Nunez.
Yes.
Dude, all those guys are
Those
rippers.
all unbelievable dudes. I remember.
Steven just went through a crazy accident, or like I don't know if it was an accident, but something happened to him. He got like beat up and jumped, and like
Oh shit.
gnarly story. I know he was like
I think I was gonna watch it. I think I have that saved.
I think
To
he has
watch.
like I don't know if he I saw it somewhere. It was like a gnarly story.
Those dudes, man. Again, it's funny that they were so sick, but they never really had a part. Like it was like they were, like they
And
had.
that's all I care about.
Like,
I love video
dude,
parts so much.
Yeah, but I mean, they never really put out a full movie, but they had excerpts here or there. But the tricks they did were just like.
They always
just-
had a good style, and there was like a
Oh.
lot of like they're in the video magazines
Yes,
and like
yeah,
all that. You would
that
see
whole
like
team.
that.
And I remember Eric.
That's kind of how skating is now. It's like almost not completely, but there's vlog style skateboarding
Yeah,
where
yeah,
it's like
yeah.
all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I still love video parts.
Dude,
yeah.
me too. And I remember Eric came back, and I don't know, I think he came back by himself, and I don't know if he was in his own car. Anyways, I just remember him getting out and be like, "Oh, dude, Eric," and he's like, "I got something for you." I said, "What?" And he had just got on Menace, and he threw me a shirt, and I opened it up, and it was the Wu-Tang W,
Oh, sick.
but upside down for
down.
M, and it
Yeah.
said Menace enter the Poontang, and he was like, "That's for you, Burns." I was like, "Thank you." Oh my god, dude. He was on
That's
Fun,
legend
too.
status.
He started out on Fun.
Fun. I've heard of
yeah,
Fun.
He was yeah, that was I don't even know that was out of. I think Josh Beagle was on that. Yeah.
Josh Beagle was so good.
Oh,
You're talking about Josh Beagle that started Foundation?
Yes.
Yeah, Josh
Yeah.
Beagle.
I think he was on it.
Good style.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like growing up with those dudes and seeing them go out there and make a name for themselves and then come back and like still hang out with us. Like obviously they're on a pedestal because I always looked up to all of them. Like I wanted to be just like every one of them, but to have them come back and then give you validation of like you're my homie, you know what I mean? It's like one of those where it's like, dude, man, like
That's a cool angle to see it.
it's unreal.
Did you ever want to like? You just hit the level with skating where it was Love Park, and you're like, I'm not gonna do this.
No. I just I had opportunities. Believe it or not, like Real came to Skater's Edge, and it was Jim Tebow, Tommy G, Sluggo. I don't think
Rob Boyce Sluggo,
dude,
Canadian, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's my favorite. I'll tell you a good story about him too.
He seems awesome.
He's the best.
I
He's one of
bet.
my favorite skaters of all time. So they had this spine ramp in the middle that was super steep, and it had an extension and a 4-foot and then a 5-foot. And Real was doing a demo, and of course Eric was shredding on all of it. He was killing. I think the spine was too small for him to skate, but whatever. And Andy Singleton was obviously amazing too. His mom hosted them, so they all went out to dinner.
What?
And
Sick.
so they did
Solid
a demo.
mom move.
Oh, she was the best.
Yeah.
She was like a second mom to me, man. What a fabulous woman.
Legend.
Oh, totally. So I was skating doing my own thing, and I used to have like crazy tricks over the spine. I used to do nollie melancholies.
Yeah.
I would go up with the board backwards and grab the tail and turn it around and then come in the other side.
Yeah.
Backside threes, hand plants.
Whoa, you were a tranny, man.
Dude,
Sick.
you don't even know, dude. you don't even know.
I believe you.
Some of the tricks I did back then, I still don't know. 540 ollies.
Whoa, dude.
I used to do backside kickflip to backside nose blunt and then to pivot, frontside pivot and go and just like tech tricks.
That's a sick one.
Real tech tricks.
I've been wanting to do that at the edge. There's that quick roll in
Yes.
right when you walk in a little
Yeah.
quarter pipe.
Yep.
I can do gap to nose blunt pop in, but to do it to the pivot fakie would be sick.
Dude.
So launch off the roll into the quarter pipe.
Nose and then the
Backside
pivot.
nose blunt pivot fakie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Back nose blunt.
It-
It's like a switch pivot. To
Yeah.
fakie,
Yep. I used to do that. But anyways, so they did a demo. I skated, did my own thing, and I just remember they all went out to eat. They went to like Cheller's or something in Warwick or Cranston. And the next day I went to Skater's Edge, and obviously they're there. And Joy's like, "Hey, Adam, come here." I was like, "What?" And she's like, "Sluggo was asking about you." So,
Oh,
what are you
shit.
talking about? She's like, "Yeah, we were at dinner, and he leaned over to me, and he's like, 'Who's that kid that was dude, whatever, like that?'" So she's like, "I just want you to know that he was talking to you, so go talk to him." So I just walked up and started talking to him. He's like, "Yeah, because he's a vert skater, dude. And
Yeah.
an unbelievable snowboarder, dude. He's one of my favorite skaters of all time." And so he was like, "Yeah, you got this trick that I want you to show me how to do." And there was an extension of a quarter pipe, and then it went over the spine here. So I was doing board slide to tail slide reverts. I was doing tricks
Damn.
off of whatever. So he's like, "I want to learn that." So I was like, "All right." So I whatever.
You're teaching Rob Boy.
Yeah, whichever. And obviously he got it like third try, but we bonded, and there was a magazine called Concrete Powder
I
that was a
remember.
skateboarding and whatever, and he
Snowboard, skateboard.
autographed it and wrote notes to me. I still have them,
What?
and he gave me his address and everything, and he literally me, Eric, I don't know if Andy too, but literally they told us, if you guys make a video, all of you make videos and send them to us, we'll put you on. So I was like, all right, whatever. I didn't think anything of it, and like
Oh, you didn't follow up, dude. You gotta follow up, bro.
Eric did,
Oh.
and I remember
That
Eric
happened.
did. And I remember he showed up at Skater's Edge one day, and we were on the 5 foot, and he came up there, and he's like, "Oh, my ankle hurts," or whatever. And he pulled up his thing, and he had the original Spitfire.
Oh, shit.
Whatever. Fred Smith at Skate
Oh,
Hut did it
sick.
for him, and he's like, "Yeah, I made a video, and they put me on." So he was on Reel, Thunder, and Spitfire, and I'm just like,
Oh, dude.
dude, I didn't do it.
Snooze, you lose.
Oh, dude,
That's
yeah,
if I'm Eric.
That was
Snooze,
my
you lose.
that was
right?
my first mistake, and then so he got hooked up, and I ended up writing Sluggo a letter, and it took forever to come, and I'm like, he forgot about it, and one day I get a letter, and it was
Letters are legendary.
dude, I still have it framed.
That's
It was a
sick.
letter with the Foghorn Leghorn of Blind, whoever was that? I forget who that was for a skater, but that was their graphic when they did the Looney Tune knockoffs.
Okay, yeah.
And it was on the outside, and it was from Sluggo. So I opened it up, and it was like, "Oh, dude, like I was in Europe on tour. Sorry, I got so long." And he was like, "How you been? I really liked skating with you, everything." And he's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I told my friend Rick Howard about you, and
Oh,
he
shit.
gave you." So there was a whole
Fellow Canadian.
dude, exactly. And he's like, he flowed me a bunch of stickers and told me
What?
to give them to you. So there's all these crazy stickers in them. I think it was Jason Lee that was the Foghorn Leghorn, because he knew I did, and that's what he wrote in the Concrete Wave. Like Concrete Wave, he was like, "Jason Lee's the man. I love him just as much as you." Like he was
Oh,
writing
sick.
things in these that literally, like when I show people, it's like, "Damn, dude, like you guys got to know each other." And so that was that, and literally I still have all the stickers and the letter framed. And it was just like, dude, like,
That's cool.
and Rick Howard, I think at the time was on Blockhead.
Blockhead.
Yeah, which like
That was like
it was
right
way
before me.
Yeah,
Right before me.
yeah, it was
or a
on
little
Blockhead.
before me, yeah.
Yeah, I think Omar Hassan was on that.
Oh,
Blockhead was
Omar.
pretty. Oh, dude,
Omar's so gnarly.
dude, so good.
What he's done is
I
unbelievable.
know, man. I know. We grew up in such an amazing time, but Rob, with the
We had a
Rob
lot
Boy
of
thing,
heroes, a lot of skate
dude,
heroes.
dude.
I did.
I still look up to those guys, man.
Skate heroes.
Especially the vert guys, because
Yeah, dude.
once I started to
Fuck
learn
it.
how to skate vert, I was like, "Damn, dude, I got to go back and watch all those parts I fast forward when I was skating the street, because I didn't watch any of them."
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's sad.
It
but
happens, dude.
I know.
You gotta
Again,
educate.
humbled, like, dude, like in the skate vert, especially like a vert bowl, like those unreal. But it's crazy because Sluggo started doing an Instagram and started skating again. I started.
He's doing
following him.
backflips and stuff.
dude.
On like trampolines in his kitchen and stuff.
Dude, he can do.
Just so
You
sick.
should see him snowboard.
Oh,
Man.
well, I
he
bet.
does the. So, anyways, I watch him, and like I kind of wanted to text him with the picture and just be like, "Hey, man, do you remember me?" There's no way he would, but it was just crazy that he literally was like the champion for me to get on flow for real. And obviously, this is like 93, 92, 91. Yeah, dude, yeah.
That's modern day.
Yeah. You should see him breakdance.
He-
Dude,
oh,
he does
yeah.
the best windmills I've ever seen in my life.
He's literally in
dude.
like an IKEA parking lot
dude.
with a little mini tramp
But
doing like
he-
skateboard combo tricks.
He is absolutely so talented, though. It's
Oh, I
disgusting.
know.
He's,
I remember like watching him come up and
Dude.
seeing like clips of all the things. He's Canadian. He's
Yeah.
got a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah,
different things.
yeah.
Just
And that's the
sick.
thing, man. I think wasn't Colin McKay? He was from Canada.
Yeah.
And Rick Howard and we skated.
Some good Canadian
We
skateboarders.
skated. Big Brother came to Providence. I remember, and we ended up skating with him. Oh, Moses Id Conan.
Front
came.
noses. Remember his front
Dude,
noses?
oh yeah, dude, we skated
Fucking
the
mind
courthouse.
melters.
Yeah, Justin
Mind
Kelly.
melters.
Oh, dude, Justin Kelly Smith grinded down the 6. Eric Popecki was doing like kickflip front blunts down it. Like we took the Big Brother guys all over the city, man.
The magazine.
Yeah.
Sick.
They spent the day with them.
That's wild.
Yeah. A lot of teams have come down to Providence, believe it or not, knowing that the garage was a spot. And
Yeah, the
literally it
garage
was
is
just
epic.
the garage. I know, man. Like, dude,
It's a
like
good spot.
Jeff Kendall, Caesar Singh, like all these Santa
Yeah.
Cruz dudes came down there and like, oh man, like skating. We ended up taking them to the courthouse and like even Mariano showed up there. Someone found him for some reason.
Really?
Yeah, he
That's
was
wild.
like, yeah, he was in Providence somewhere, and someone literally saw him sitting on the side of the road on like whatever, and they took him around
There's
skating.
good spots there, dude.
Dude, I know.
I love
I
that
know,
place.
especially back then, man.
Yeah.
And
Still, dude.
then my second one
I'm
was
going back, bro.
oh, dude, I want to get all the OG
Get
guys together
warmer.
and just I know
Get
I know.
fucking warmer,
Just
winter.
bring some wax around and go back to all the curbs.
Spring kick in already, you
Yeah.
motherfucker.
Yeah, everybody who's watching this, let's all get together and go
2022.
skate Providence and make it a skate day in Providence, man.
We did go skate day in June usually, right?
In New
But
York.
you can do go skate day any day.
I know.
That's the beauty of it.
I know. That's yeah, but literally we ruled those streets back then because we
Hell
were
yeah.
like 20, 30 deep with and it was crazy too because we always reminisce that
That's
the
the
garage
best.
was such a spot that if you went there and no one's there within 5 to 10 minutes, someone would have shown up.
Yeah.
And it was like everyone meet at the garage and then we would go skate places and then you come back to the garage and there'd be a whole
It's
bunch
so
of new
central.
dudes, dude.
Yeah.
And that's where I met all the Solstice guys and all the guys from New Bedford and Connecticut again and like just kids from around the country that especially that go to college there and they would come down and they'd befriend you and they're from somewhere else and then they bring
Yeah.
their friends around and stuff. That's what I mean. Like,
So many cool people.
dude, people that I probably would have never even been friends with if I hadn't met them through that because how would I have ever met them?
Yeah.
So it's
yeah.
like I have friends all over the world and it's just one of those things where it's like they moved on and went to New Zealand or other places like that. It's like, but you can still now talk to them through Instagram or whatever, but it was all based on a useless wooden toy skating around the city because they didn't have skate parks back then.
Yeah, man.
And
That's so cool.
It
Skateboard's
is,
the
it
best.
is.
Legend.
I know. I don't know. I just that's what I say. Like, I'll take the legend moniker because I feel like I've been in it for so long and know so many people and have influenced, inspired so many people that like they hold me up on a pedestal. But it's crazy because dudes like Jay Poirier. I used to skate with Jeff all the time, and Jay was a young little dude, and he
Yeah.
didn't even skate ramp, and now
Brother
I skate with
combo.
a dude.
Choo, choo, choo.
Dude,
The real legend though is in Japan. He's the oldest skater alive.
I know.
I looked him up on one of the shows.
Yeah, yeah.
like,
It was with I
he's still
remember.
going.
I know.
I'm assuming. I don't know his whole story. I'd want to know. I want to see a video part. is what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah. I want to know though, does he have all natural body parts? Or is his knees or whatever?
He was
'Cause
sitting
it's-
cross-legged, and I have a hard time doing that. And he was doing that at like
Dude.
80.
Yeah, see, man.
I gotta figure shit out.
see what he eats.
Yeah.
Eats,
He
yeah,
just leaves.
yeah,
he
yeah,
just
yeah,
leaves.
yeah. I was getting into fasting. It's crazy. I lost so much weight from just being active and everything, and then just depression hit in with the
Life.
ex-fiance, yeah, whatever, like whatever. And it's just like, dude, and it's like I kept eating as much as I would if I was active, and it's like I always gain at least 15 pounds in the winter, and it just comes off like that.
Yeah, winter.
When you start sweating and skating and
Keep that
whatever.
attitude. Keep that
Yeah,
attitude.
yeah. But
Gotta
it's
work
just,
it out.
it's just crazy because
I have that attitude too. I go into winter. I'm like, I'm gonna gain some weight, and then I like start to
yeah.
panic. I'm like, am I gonna?
Yeah.
And then you start skating. And you're like, oh my god.
I've already went up a pant size, man. Like, yeah, I went up a pant size, so that's kind of like, I mean, obviously, because I lost so much weight last year that once the good weather kicks in, if I'm not skating, I'm out riding the bike, so I'm just putting in tons of.
Oh, that's
and
sick.
again, sweating so much, my body just craves water or a Gatorade or something. So it's
Yeah.
not like I'm gonna sit down and have.
Dude,
a
winters
Monster
are
or whatever.
tough, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why we're fortunate to have the edge because you can literally get a exercise in,
Yeah,
a fun
yeah.
exercise by rolling around. Even
Yeah,
if you can't
yeah,
fully session,
yeah.
you just go and you're like, maybe say hi to someone and get a fun session
yeah.
in. It's like lightweight.
But that's why I say our body calls for that. So once you're active and you're not active, it's like one day you wake up a week after not doing something, your body's like, hey, I'm
Yeah.
gonna make you ache a little bit for no reason. It's
Yeah.
like if I'm not active, I wake up in the morning more sore than if I was, and it's just like,
Definitely.
what is my body telling me?
Stretching
Like,
every day you can, like that's a new one too that I'm trying to do consistently. Is like even if it's not heavy stretching, just light when I come home from work or after a session. I've
yeah,
just been trying
yeah,
to. I have like a foam roller, and I have like some kettlebells that I just kind of lift
yeah,
up and put
yeah,
around, do
yeah.
like weird exercises, roll my back out. My shoulder's been kind of fucked up for a while.
My
That's
back is an
getting there.
issue. Let me ask you something because it's crazy. When
So
you were on Zoo York at all, did you have any kind of through them any kind of regimen that they wanted you to stay in shape, or is there
whoa,
anything? Well,
imagine.
it's the only reason I ask is I bumped into Donnie. I don't remember if it was at Subliminal Park or in Providence, and we were obviously talking, and he was like, "Do you have any back problems?" And I'm like, "No," and he's like, "Well, I have to go to a chiropractor," and I was like, "Oh, that's weird, like whatever." And he said that the chiropractor explained to him that, do you skate regular or goofy?
Regular,
Okay, and I think, does Donnie skate switch?
goofy.
He goofy. Okay,
Yeah.
so whatever way that we were pushing all those years, one side of our spine muscles are like Cro-Magnon Hercules, and the
Yeah.
other or whatever. And he literally said that his chiropractor looked at his back and was like, one whole side is like He-Man, and the other one whatever, and the side that was lacking now the other was taking up for
Yeah. Yeah.
whatever.
Overcompensating.
So he told me that I don't remember who the skater was, but that Pilates was almost a prerequisite now for pros to like do, because it works both sides of it. And of course, they're doing more switch and stuff,
Yeah.
but it's there's so much more in tune now with the human body and that kind of thing, where literally like Pilates is
They
part of the
they
game.
didn't have to tell me shit because I was grinding like 18 stair rails and like
Okay,
switch
yeah,
flipping double
yeah.
sets and like
Well,
fucking
it's just
Smith
weird.
grinding double kink rails.
Yeah,
And
so you're in shape, but I just felt like in the long run, and I don't know
they could
why.
have suggested I would go swimming. That would have been nice, or like yoga or some
That's what I
light
mean, though.
movement on top
Something.
of it.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I just the way that he made it seem is that like when I
I
don't
think that a
remember.
lot of that is because of skateboarding and contests. Like a lot of those
Yes,
dudes have to like train to be
that's
in shape
exactly what
and
it is.
balance out their
Yep, yep,
energy, and they're trying
yep.
to be like really articulate and smart with it,
That's
you
it.
know?
That's what I mean.
And
That's what
that's
I
like
mean.
you can be an athlete if you want.
Yeah,
I just
yeah,
never was good at that game. I'm more creative. I'm more
yeah,
like working on a video part, like a personal
yeah, yeah,
project,
yeah,
or like
yeah.
or like a video with someone. I just like contests after a while. It's just too confined for me, and I'm not that good in that space.
Yeah,
I'm
I know what you
better
mean.
just having fun
Yeah,
and
yeah,
being
yeah,
creative and skating and
yeah,
using my energy freely. Some people are good at sports. And if you are into that type of thing, you probably should do some Pilates and stuff.
yeah, yeah.
Because they train like
It
all the
works both
time
sides.
and
Yeah,
they're trying to win and be the
yeah,
best and all
yeah,
that. I'm
yeah,
just trying to get through the day sometimes.
yeah, yeah,
When I rode for New York, though, I was literally just like, this is my chance to like travel the world and just film tricks in
yeah,
different
yeah,
countries
yeah.
for years. And just like, that was my main focus was like, let's do sick video parts and see places and like,
All right, so somebody that you used to skate with, pro, told me that they had a regimen for the skater to a degree where you are almost typecast in what you do, and they didn't want you to stray from that.
I don't know.
So did anyone ever tell you, hey, for this video part we want you to do this, this, and this, or was it free range?
I never really had anyone say anything that I can remember or I'd listen to.
Yeah, yeah.
I just did me for the most part.
Okay, yeah. I
If
was just
anything,
wondering.
I feel like I might be plain Jane in some sense. Like when I rode for Birdhouse, I definitely was influenced by like people around me, like Sumner and John Goman
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Matt Ball and Sean Eaton
yeah,
and Matt. There was like
So was
sick crew, Willie Santos,
oh
like
god, I
Jeremy
loved him.
Klein.
Oh,
So like I
Jesus.
was more like an oddball because I was around so many different people. And then when I rode for Zoo York, it kind of like was. I love hip hop. I grew up on the East
Yeah,
Coast. I
yeah,
love
yeah,
baggy jeans. It
yeah,
was like
yeah,
easy. When I went to the West, my jeans actually slimmed up, but it was just because like I wanted to try it. I liked the way it looked.
yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't do it too much though. I was
yeah.
never like people were wearing girls' jeans and
Dude,
shit.
dude.
Mine, I love a baggy jeans, but also
I
like a fitted
Me
pant,
too. Me
like a
too.
nice
I have
fitted
to
pant.
buy. I have to have room, man.
Yeah.
Who was
But
that dude? That.
so when I rode for Birdhouse, I had like a tighter kit, but then New York, they just gave me so much free clothes. I was just like looking like a keel out there
Yeah,
with just
yeah, yeah.
big ass double XL tees
I
and
just
34 and like
I like that look.
yeah,
Though, man.
like me too. I love that too. And now it's kind of balanced out. I like an in between sort of,
Yeah.
but I don't think anyone really ever told me anything that I can remember. I
Yeah.
mean, maybe someone said something to me, but I ain't gonna listen to them for the most part. I always just try to do whatever I was into.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sometimes I would be all over the map too. I'd
Sure.
switch it up
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I'm just one of those people that I don't like to feel cornered. Sometimes I like to just be like do something because like
So they would. That's the thing though. So like
I would never want to be cornered.
the dudes on Birdhouse, did they have a style or
No.
skate anything that you wanted to aspire to? So you got it from them.
Oh yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Just
yeah.
certain things from different people.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
Sumner had a sick style, and I definitely got like influence. I didn't really take anything,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
just kind of in awe.
Sure,
Like,
sure.
but
That's what I mean, though. Everyone
my pants did
aspires,
kind
yeah.
of slim up when I hung out with those dudes, just because
Yeah.
that's what they wore and it looked good. And
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
dude, I'm in California, might as well try this.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, dude, then New York, it was just fucking baggy pants.
Yeah, yeah.
And then from there, same thing. I'm very particular. I like clothes. I like to
So
dress
do I.
up sometimes too,
I
which
do
is
too.
weird.
I do
Just put
too.
on a nice shirt
Yeah,
or
me
like
too.
something new.
Oh, I have crazy
crisp stuff,
either
like-
polos or Ralph Lauren button ups and stuff.
Yeah, man.
Usually when I go down to Florida, I'm more apt to wear nicer clothes like
Yeah,
that.
I don't really even mind like wearing tuxedos or like
me neither.
suits or
Oh,
anything.
no, me neither.
A bow tie is
I
like
love 'em.
ridiculous,
I've
but I'm
never had a
down.
bow tie.
Oh, dude.
No, never bow tie. No.
I'm bow tying soon, dude, for a wedding. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm gonna change my attitude because at first I was like, I don't really want to wear a bow tie, but
Yeah.
on this podcast, I'm inspired. I want to wear a bow tie.
Alright.
You about to see a photo with a bow tie.
That's right. Well, hey, you might start a trend.
Oh, dude.
Make an all I need shirt with one built in.
The trend bow tie's already been trended. They already made it. Someone had the bow tie. Someone invented the bow tie.
Yeah.
That guy's a legend.
That's funny. Every tux I ever rented was always tails, the ones that hang low.
Oh,
That's my
really?
favorite style. Yeah,
Hmm.
and striped pants, like the thin
Oh,
stripes.
sick.
Yeah. That's what I mean. If I'm gonna dress up, I'm gonna dress up in something that I wouldn't normally
Yeah.
be in.
It's fun sometimes to dress up. You feel like you're like cleaned up.
Yeah, yeah. My
Something
sister had a
else, like-
wedding in up in Massachusetts, and
That's where we are.
well, it was in the Cape. It was
Oh, sick.
it was above Quincy, right on the water.
Cape sick.
It wasn't on Cape Cod though. It was like way
Oh,
up.
because Quincy, you were saying, yeah.
Yeah, it was above Quincy. I forget where it was. Unbelievable place.
That's cool.
The unbelievable town. It was near Situate, I think. Wherever Situate is in there. I forget the name of it. Hull.
Hull, yeah.
Massachusetts. Yeah, unbelievable place there. But yeah, I got my sister got in a wedding. She had a wedding, and she had particulars of what she wanted us to wear. So it was one of those things.
Oh, yeah.
Like a nice.
Did you,
Tail
was it
figure
out of your
jacket.
comfort zone or
Oh,
was
no, I
it, you were
loved it.
into it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's sick, dude.
Yeah.
Just it feels like dressing up is like play
It is.
sometimes.
Well, so for a long time, I used to work for the state picking up dead bodies.
Okay.
So every day I had to wear a suit
Yeah.
because I had to do house calls. So we would go pick up tragedies, suicide, stuff like that. But I was still
Jesus.
wearing a nice suit because we might get called by a funeral home and have to go to a home. So we had to be dressed nice. Like
So
the
you're
funeral
somewhere
director.
in between like a ball gown and like fucking corpse. So picking up, you're dressed to like accommodate both.
No, I was dressed super nice all the time with a
Oh, dude.
jacket, tie,
Okay.
button-up shirt, slacks.
They literally
and
just had
shoes.
you picking up like dead bodies in like a suit. Dude, it's so crazy.
And gruesome stuff where you pick up the body and the blood spurts and you're like, all right, and you have to run to go get a new white shirt now. Whatever.
Jesus.
Yeah, that was the thing though,
That's
because
crazy.
in other states they have a coroner and then they have funeral people that for the funeral director. In Rhode Island we're so small, so I'd have to do both. So I'd have to go trudge through Exeter for someone who died in the woods and it's muddy and everything, and I'm walking through there in a suit, getting all dirty, and then we have the body, and then as we're driving and get a call, you have to go to a house call. You're like, yeah, this is great.
How long did you do that for?
A few years.
Jesus, really?
It was awesome.
That seems heavy. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Seems heavy though.
Yeah, it was another very, very eye-opening about mortality and seeing people do things to themselves for reasons where you're just looking at them dead, being like, dude, like, what are you insane? Like, yeah. I definitely.
That's like skydiving. Looking at someone dead is like skydiving.
Yeah, dude.
Seems like one of those things where you're like, oh my god.
It's again, I think I liked that job so much. I actually went to Florida and I inquired about it and to be a coroner, just to go do stuff like that.
Whoa, crazy.
Yeah. I like it. I don't know why. But I think it's humbling too, because on a bad day you can go to a house call and see somebody who hung themselves or whatever, and just look at them, just like, dude.
My lady was studying to do embalming in like
Where'd she go,
mortuary
Mount Ida?
school. What's that?
Did she go Mount Ida?
I don't know. I don't know where she went. It was when I first met her.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do for the state, but then the state stopped hiring, so I was gonna work for the medical examiner. So that's how I was getting in there. But
when I first met her, she was like, we were dating basically, and she had like a fake head, and she was like reconstructing it and shit. I was like,
my friend Craig is the makeup artist, and he goes around to the funeral homes and does the makeup stuff and because I would have to go there after and help him put bodies in the caskets. He was the funeral director, but also the makeup person.
Yeah.
Just some of the stuff, so the stories that he would tell us of just like, because they give you a picture of what the person's supposed to look like, and if the person like was riding a motorcycle, well, I mean, there's the things he told me they had to do to try to make the person look normal after getting their face ripped off or something. Like, it's just really hard, and I was going to go to school for all of that, and I couldn't. From what he told me, I just didn't want to do that aspect of it. I should have went to school for it, but I'm more of the autopsy, and I've seen autopsies of people and organs, and the most eye-opening one, and of course I could have never done it, but it was something that there was a guy from Russia who was interning. He was from Russia. He came here to learn skills, and I watched him do an autopsy on a woman who died of lung cancer. So he had the lung on this table, and he incised it and opened it up. And when he opened it, the inside of it had like an inch thick wall of it, just looked like molasses.
Whoa.
And it was unbelievable. And it literally, I mean, if I had a camera phone, I might have, not right to do, but
drop a Mento. Isn't that what a?
Well, I just wanted to take a picture of it and show anybody. Yeah,
during Seinfeld, doesn't he like drop something?
Yeah, it was a Junior Mint.
Junior Mint. That's a Mentos. Junior Mint.
Dude. But I've seen stuff like that where literally it's like, it's so eye opening to like people who smoke all their life or whatever.
Yeah,
it's like, listen, you want to quit? Here, I got a picture for you, man. Like whatever.
Here's some proof.
It again, it was humbling to see people do things to themselves or make decisions that ended their life for the reason that they chose it was. And of course, you got to read suicide notes when they're there, because whatever. And it's just like, you're looking at the person like, you stupid son of a bitch. Like, what are you kidding me? Like, it bummed me out. But again, I can't be around crying or pain or anything like that. Like, I can't help I'd rather just be like, all right, man, you did that. Let's take you out of here and take you to the medical examiner or whatever. But I've seen just crazy stuff, and it didn't bother me. So I felt like that was a job for me that I really liked. Which is crazy. One. I've told stories to people, because every time that we would get together on the weekends, they would like have me tell stories and stuff, and I told them stories where there's people's mouths were on the ground. They're just like, dude, like, and again, it was just like, again, I'm not making fun of it or whatever, but it's just kind of like, hey man, like, this is what people are doing out there, man. So if you ever think that you want to end it or whatever, I'm telling you, don't. Or
sometimes humor lightens the load, which is
it does. It
might
does.
not be the right response, but
I don't know. I just, maybe I'm so hard inside that I just didn't really empathize, and it was just kind of like, there's nothing I could do about it.
I don't think you could do the job if you were super empathetic.
Yeah,
because it would be too much.
You'd be overwhelmed. Yeah,
that makes sense.
But it was just weird, because I really didn't ever have anything that I felt like was worth saying to anybody. So it's like, you go into a house and the person passed away, and you go into the put them in the sheet and everything, and then you walk past all them, and the whole house erupts crying, and people are coming up to me and grabbing me and being like, "What does this mean?" And I'm like, "Sir, I don't know." Like, I didn't know how to, because I didn't know the person or whatever, and I have empathy that they're crying and stuff. But like, I just whatever, and I think that that's probably what kept me sane. But it was just one of those things where literally, like, the only thing I could say was, "I'm sorry for your loss." Like, there's nothing I could possibly say to you that could make you feel any better. I'm here to do what I have to do. But
it's good to be a professional in that moment, because it's can't be like giving out. It's too surreal of a moment to be like.
But the dude that I worked with, he had kids, and I don't have kids, and there was times where things had happened to kids where literally he was like, "You have to go in there by yourself," and there's things that I saw that he didn't even want to know about. And again, I don't have kids, so I mean, I don't really know, but it was just one of those things where, like, he straight up could not. He just like, "Listen, I have to sit in the car,"
I could see
or
that.
whatever. And I've seen things. I've seen people who committed murder, and the police didn't know it yet, and we knew. We knew. When you go into a room and everyone's crying, and there's that one person in the room that's not crying, 9 times out of 10, weeks later, you see on the news, that's the dude who did it.
Oh
that's the dude who did it. And
not crying's a bad sign, dude.
Dude, like, straight up, like, there were a couple times that we went to murder scenes, especially with kids. There was 2 of them that I remember specifically, and everyone was crying except the boyfriends of the both stupid things. And I remember in one of them, the boyfriend coming out and standing in front of us and be like, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. Like, he was totally incoherent, speaking babble. Only he knew he was talking about. And I remember that one time that the guy said that my partner looked at him and was like, "He did it." And literally we found out, we found out that he did it. And it was just like, dude, like,
that's a movie shit, yeah,
dude. And that's the thing. Some of the stories I told, they're like, "Dude, you got to tell the news or whatever." Say, "Oh, I'm not telling anything." But it was just crazy that you could tell after the fact, or even in the heat of the moment, you're just not acting right. It's not logical for everyone to be crying and for you to not be, and then being like, I didn't know, or it's like you're detached for some reason, and
that's insane, dude.
It was again, it was just really weird because you see this person and they actually murdered someone and they're free and everything like that, and you end up leaving or whatever like that, and then a few weeks later or a day later or something, you found out you did it, and you're like, "Oh my god, dude!" What a like, dude.
I'm in the presence of evil.
Yeah. So that was
why did the job come to an end?
Yeah, it was just because I wanted to work for the state, and I was the next to be hired because I had done some I helped the Coast Guard recover a guy who died diving, and they found him a year to the day later. So I helped them recover that body, and I had my family was friends with the old ex medical examiner, so I had letters of recommendation, everything. And what happened was, it was after the nightclub fire. Remember when that was the station
in Providence, right?
No, it was in West Warwick
or Rhode Island. I'm sorry. Yeah, that was like one of the gnarliest fires, right? In the state. Yeah.
I got hired the week after that happened. Something happened in the state where they had 50 violations of bodies that were there too long. Like, just they had violations 50. So whoever was the governor at the time put a hiring freeze on, and it was indefinite until they cleaned the place up. They ended up getting a new, I think, person to come in there and clean house or whatever and just put it back. But I stayed in contact with a bunch of them for a little while. I'd stop in there and see them and stuff, and they're just like, "Yeah, like, it's not the same here." And then I ended up going back to inquire about getting the job, and they ended up farming it out to the private services.
Yeah.
So, because I worked for 2 private places, but now it's corporate. In other words, when back then it was two guys that had the services, and
Yeah.
now it goes to some ambulance company and stuff. So it's I couldn't work for the state, in other words, because they farm it out.
That's a wild experience to have.
Yeah, yeah,
Seems.
yeah,
I've washed dishes before.
yeah, yeah. No, that was definitely because my family is in the medical field, so
Makes
I don't know.
sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I gravitated toward that, and I know a lot about the human body and stuff like that. But again, I couldn't deal with the crying and the seeing stuff like that, like seeing with the broken leg or whatever. Like that stuff, just maybe it's because it's the skater in me where it's like, oh my god, like it'll stick in my head. I better not try that rail because I saw a guy break his leg. Or whatever.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like it's
It's two different things.
it really
Yeah, I
yeah
can see that.
yeah. I don't know. It was too. I think it was too real for me to see stuff like that. And to hear the crying or whatever, I can't. It's too stressful. I feel like
Yeah.
I show up after the fact and be like, oh, we're gonna clean this up and get this guy out of here. There's nothing I can do.
Someone's
For
got
him.
to do it. It's a job, dude.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
job,
yeah.
bro.
It's just crazy because I was the only. Like I was like the pretty boy there. All the other guys were like convicts and like they were rough dudes. Were literally, and they used to ask me all the time, "You gonna quit? You gonna quit?" I'm like, "Why?" They're like, "Cause like literally we would hire people and they would go to a scene and they would get out and they'd go sit in the car and then they'd be like, I'm not doing it, and they'd drive back to the office. They'd get in their car and jet. Like, dude, like they
Yeah.
couldn't.
I can
deal-
see that.
and the smell too, and like. But I mean,
Dude.
again, what I saw people do to other people and themselves is just it's eye opening. Like for a long time, probably maybe a couple weeks, 3 weeks, maybe a month, I worked 12-hour shifts. In just my shifts alone, every week, like 127 people were dying. Where I'm
Yeah.
like, like where are these people come like it's old age or it's accidental and stuff, but the numbers of people that pass away was just staggering,
Yeah.
especially for a state that small. So it was one of those where like we'd get statistics and stuff. So it was like,
Yeah.
and that was before the opioid thing. So
Yeah, there's a lot of heaviness, man.
yeah. So now, yeah.
That's why
so,
it's really important to like try to harness your abilities as soon as possible.
yeah, yeah.
Try to find
yeah.
it's important that people help each other and give
That's
them
it. That's it.
for me, a lot of people, like my friend's family, took me in and helped me graduate high school.
Yeah,
Like his family
yeah.
like fed me, washed my clothes. They were
Yeah.
just cool people, and it
Yeah,
was
yeah,
because of
yeah,
skating. But like
yeah.
having people help, or like state programs, or just something where you can get some sort of balance in your life.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I like bounced all over the fucking place.
Yeah,
There's violence and shit with my family and
yeah.
unhealthy shit. So like to be able to have help to find that like
Sure.
space to
Yeah.
like figure out who you are is the most important thing. Because when you're really young and you're in the midst
I
of
know,
chaos,
I know.
it's like you just become part of it because you're young, you don't have you don't you
Well,
haven't
you don't
had
know
enough
where to go.
time. You
Yeah,
don't have
yeah,
time with
yeah.
your perceptions. You
Yeah.
haven't been able to practice them out. Like so,
But
it's
that's
like
what I say.
comes straight to your body.
Think about all you've done when statistically your backup was against the wall.
Yeah,
Statistically,
well,
you could
a
have.
lot of people. That's what I'm getting at. Is a lot of people have that. Like you look at those opioid crisis and people and
Yeah.
dysfunction and families are broken and
Yeah.
like that happens every day in
I know,
America.
I know.
Like it starts with one person. So if you can write your own ship and find that
Yeah.
space to figure out who you are and
Yeah.
how to balance things and manage your own life, then you can have others around you that can
Dude.
manage their life, and then you can carry
Dude.
the weight
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
together
Yeah, yeah,
and progress. So it's
yeah.
like, but it's hard because those family structures get shattered sometimes.
I know.
Sometimes we do it. Sometimes
Yeah.
there's outside forces that
Yep.
put pressure on families and things, and like shit. Life in general is like a fight
It is.
for
It
your
is.
life. You know, like everyone has that.
It sucks though to know that people have done that one thing and forever they're changed. So it's like they still need help, but it's almost like, dude, like I don't really know how to go that far into it because you did something so extreme that like they still need love, but at that point it's
Yeah.
like what could you really do to help them?
There's some
Because
people
they're-
that are stuck on like stupid and stuck on digging a hole deeper and deeper
Yeah,
for
yeah.
themselves, and everyone just falls
Dude,
into
I
it.
know,
So
I
if you
know.
go near, it's almost like a black hole.
See?
You get pulled into
Yeah.
it, and it's like you're the creators digging the hole, and like it's not gonna be good to have me in there too. Like we're both gonna be down in this
Yeah,
pit.
yeah.
Like so it's like some people you got to be aware that they're just lost and dealing with it. It's like you
Yeah.
can only do so much, you know? Like at some point your life is your own
That's
responsibility.
it. That's
That's
it.
hard to remember that cuz
Yeah.
like we could all be victims and you know, the truth is here and everyone can justify it
Yeah.
from wherever they are on this point. Everyone can make it true. If they argue it. There's a million ways to argue that you're a victim.
And that thing too that's crazy is we grew up around people that were like that, and maybe sports and
I was
skating
like
and
that.
biking.
I was like that for a long time. I was
Yeah.
resentful and angry at
Same with
things
me.
and I
Same with me.
harbored
Same
it
with
and
me.
I
Same
like
with me.
dug holes
Same with
without
me.
even being
Same
aware.
with me.
A lot of it is
Same
just
with
not
me.
being aware of
I know.
like your
I know.
power,
Yeah.
whether it's good or
I know.
bad,
Isn't
you
that
know?
crazy?
Yeah, it's just part of life. It's like realizing that you're ignorant and you're trying to dig your way out of ignorance.
Yeah.
And it makes sense because we're just shoved into this life and the lights are turned on
I
and
know.
you have to, and it's not like it's the smoothest transition and it's not like everywhere is blasting some chaos at us all the time. We're
Yeah.
just surrounded in a chaos bubble, especially nowadays.
I
It's
know.
hard to know up from down and have that
Oh,
space. It
dude.
goes back
I
to
know.
when we were talking about like the silence, the
Yep.
meditation,
Yep.
the space
Yep.
to like figure out and unwind and let go and decompress and like
I feel like nowadays, because you're so exposed to people's lives, jealousy
it's a
plays a
lot.
huge part in someone's self esteem. Because you're seeing pictures of people posting stuff where it's always on the up and up. Oh, this person went on vacation or whatever. And you're like, oh man, I haven't been on vacation or whatever. But you
Yeah.
don't know. On that vacation, they could have got their car ripped off, them beat up, their girlfriend left them or whatever. So those smiles are only superficial. So it's one of those where I feel like I might have become even more hateful and jealous or resentful toward other people that were doing well when I wasn't.
Yeah.
But that's where I feel like the skating and everything was humbling. And it's like, all right, well, you know what? You go do your thing. I'm going to go do my thing. And I'm not going to judge myself on somebody else's success when all the while that person, again, could be making all the money in the world, but he's sitting in his executive office watching us skate down there wishing he was us.
Yeah.
You know?
Probably,
Like,
right?
exactly.
Backside flips are cool.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I mean. You never know what anybody's going through.
Yeah, I firmly don't believe that just because someone's acquired a lot of material shit that
Yeah.
they're fucking Buddha.
No, no, no.
It's like
Not at all.
that's like too superficial. It's
Yeah.
like you just meet people and you try to keep an open mind.
Yeah.
But it's hard. It's hard to remember. But we, you know, daily challenges. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. I just say keep open doors, man, and
Yeah.
treat everybody with respect.
Yeah.
That's what I've learned.
And then when you need to close the door, close the door.
Yeah.
If someone's
Yeah.
disrespecting boundaries, it's good to have like
Yeah.
to understand that you
Yeah.
have your space and
Yeah.
like shit that we learn as we grow. You know.
I think it's all about being social though, and being able to interact with people and like read body language and stuff like that. That comes very good. And like again, you moved around, you're meeting people all the time and stuff, and it gets to a point where like you almost don't care to impress anybody because you're just like, dude, like either you're gonna like me or you're not, you know? Like,
Yeah, that's a nice
um,
place to be where you're comfortable enough to not feel the need to have to like turn it on or be
yeah,
something
or
or
be
turn it
influenced by
extra.
someone else for acceptance. That's where I feel
Yeah.
like the peer pressure comes in.
I love
Where
to
it's like,
try to break ice when I meet people
same
or
with me,
just to
same
like
with me.
simple it down to
Yeah,
just hey, because it's like it's
dude.
easier to talk to each other. It's more real,
When
you
I
know.
go riding with my
I
boy
try
in
to anyways.
Providence, I say hi to people where like I'll be like, "Yo, what's up, man?" or whatever like that, and we'll start a conversation, and we'll like, "All right, have a good night, and skate," and ride away, and my friend will be like, "That dude, I would have never talked to that guy because I never would have thought he'd ever want to talk to me." I said, "He's a human being. He's a like, you know what I'm saying?"
Nah,
It's
I
like,
get it.
but it's just one of those things where it's like I've met so many people out riding my bike or even skating that they're good people and whatever, and they might be doing something I don't care for or something I'm not into, but I'm not going to down them or anything
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. Um,
I was just thinking of every introvert out there is like, I don't like to meet people because I actually gravitate towards them too, and like
oh yeah,
because
same
they're
with me.
like they're
Same
by
with me.
themselves,
Same
and I'm
with me.
like, hey, dude,
Same
what's
with
up?
well, that's the thing though. That's what I think. I think it's like just get them out of their shell, and then maybe
Goonan was kind of like that. He was kind of like a piss off type attitude,
yeah,
but like it's so fun to skate with. And I'm
yeah,
like, you're
yeah,
so like go hang out, dude. Don't be
yeah.
so mad at the world. And then now he's not like that at all. But like when I first met him, I used to be a little bit like that.
So me too.
It's kind
Me
of
too.
like guarded,
Me too.
protective,
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
just
yeah,
fucking you don't know.
yeah,
You got to be careful sometimes. There's
yeah,
people
yeah,
that
yeah.
don't know your boundaries. There's
Oh,
like
yeah, yeah.
I've been that dysfunctional dude who doesn't know, you know, and
Same with me.
so yeah,
Same
you
with me.
just gotta know, you know.
But that's the thing. It's the experience of being out there and meeting so different people where literally you can almost typecast them in a second and then help them in a to be,
yeah, I
or
see what
if
you're
that
saying.
makes sense. So it's
Just
like,
being able to read the room and be able to not get in the way or
yeah,
like just
yeah,
allow things to
yeah.
unfold and like
But even be open to people to allow them to come out of their shell.
yeah,
That's what I
man.
mean. That's why I say with your skating and doing lessons and stuff, like you don't maybe necessarily know that a couple of kids have a crappy life at home. So the only good time they have out of the day is when they're with you. So when they go home, that takes them out of their bad situation or something. So it's like
Yeah,
you're
man.
paying it forward. That's what I feel like I
Yeah,
do
people
too.
did that for me for sure.
And that's what I feel like though that we all do in a sense with anyone who's like us. And I'm friends with anyone who's at a skate park. I don't care. Even if you're hanging out there smoking cigarettes, I'm still gonna talk to you, or I'm gonna come up and be like, "Yo, man, you think I could get this trick, man?" You know, like I'm gonna engage them and be friend with them. And I've met more people that were just there hanging out with their friends or whatever, to the point where like I'd get out of my car and be like, "Hey, Burnside," and I'd come up and they're just high school kids that just were hanging out there, and then they end up showing up with a board and be like, "Oh, I want to learn how to skate," and they're like, "Whatever," and they're like,
Sasha,
but that's what I
skater
mean. Yeah,
dog.
but it's acceptance again, because you know what the thing too is I was bullied a few different times growing up, like bad, bad bullying, like assaulted and beat up to a degree, and just stuff where literally like it messed me up, where I didn't tell anybody or anything and I just kept it secret, but it just like on a Friday, the kid would yell at me and be like, "On Monday, I'm going to get you." All weekend, I'm freaking out and everything. And then on Monday, I show up and the kid's absent for a week and just like, okay, or like,
Yeah,
so I think that me growing up, I have that tendency to go to the skate park and see 10 kids skating, and you've got this clique over here, and then you've got these other kids here that might not fit in, and you have these kids razzing or everything like that. My first impulse is to be like, "Yo, man, come here," like that. And I've done that a couple times where literally there's a bunch of the kids there, and they've got friends over here that are from high school, but they're different cliques or something like that. And I can see that they're like, "Oh, skating near the kid and like messing with them or something, like his friends or whatever." And then I would like, "Yo, come over here," and they would come hang out with the big guys and everything, and they would just like look up at you and just be like, whatever. And then you become friends with them and give them acceptance. And of course, I'll still be friends with those kids over there and still skate with them and stuff.
yeah, man.
But I will see that one kid in the room who doesn't feel comfortable or who might be shy or something, and I see a little bit of me in there, and that's what I mean.
Yeah,
And at West Warwick Park, I used to see that all the time. I became friends with so many different people that I knew that they might not fit in at school or whatever, but they're there doing their own thing. And it got to be to the point where every day they would show up there and they'd be like, "Oh, Adam, check out this trick," or whatever. Like it was almost like befriending somebody who might not have social skills, or
yeah.
again might have a crappy life at
Just
home and he's
just being able to
introverted.
relate and then
That's
have a
it.
good session
That's
is
it.
like sick, you know.
That's it.
It's good
That's
to
it.
have that depth, you know.
Well, that's the thing, though. It's experience and me being able to pick it out, and also knowing how I grew up. And I wish that I had some. And I think that's what skating also helped me with, is other people that had likes like me. So I didn't have to tell people that my parents got divorced and I haven't had a dad for 10 years or something like that. Like that's irrelevant. We're skating now, and that's does that
Yeah.
make sense? So
No, it does.
I
Yeah.
don't have to. I don't have to prove myself to anyone or anything. I'm there having fun, so nothing else matters.
Yeah.
Um, and again, well, that's the thing, feeling judged or whatever. It's like more than other people, but you might think that they know, or I don't know.
Yeah.
I just
It's nice just to have skateboarding to keep us all like running into each other and having fun and
yeah,
like
yeah,
keeping the growth moving
yeah.
and movement and everything going, you know, like we're lucky for sure. I'm thankful to have skateboarding in my life. I'm fucking
Do
almost
people
40,
notice?
so
Do people know who you are, like when you go places?
yeah, I have people that come up and say hi and are like,
That's so
"Yo,
rad.
Anthony," or like, "I watch the vlogs," or "I listen to
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
podcast."
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I get love from people, which is awesome,
That's so
dude.
rad.
And a
Yeah.
lot of kids too. Like the last one the other day at the Edge, just like this young girl who looked like she was 12, 13. She like watched the vlogs, was super cool. She came up and she was so like polite. She was just like, "I watched the videos.
Yeah,
Like, it's cool to meet you." And she
yeah,
like, I
yeah.
think she said it was her first time there, and then like later I was like filming Anders try a
That
trick.
kid is so
Me and him are working on a
good,
video
dude.
part at the edge because it's winter. So I was like, let's
Oh,
focus on an edge part. So he's already had 2 sessions where he stacked some clips. But we were filming a trick, and Anders was taking a break, and I sniper filmed the
yeah, yeah,
girl
yeah, yeah.
because she was trying to
Sure.
drop in on the small
Yep,
shark mini ramp.
yep,
She did it twice, and I got both angles. And then
dude.
she came up after like an hour later because I was still with Anders and we were working on more tricks. and she was like, "Oh," she's like, "I'm leaving." I'm like, "You had fun? This place is sick." Yeah, yeah. And then she was like, I was like, "I saw your drop in." She's like, "That was my first drop in." I was like, "I sniped an angle." She was
See,
hyped.
dude. Yeah,
She
yeah,
didn't see herself on the thing. When I
sure,
did it, actually, Anders was like, "Oh, she's gonna watch the vlog and see her
dude.
see her drop in."
See, man,
I
that.
like to snipe people and
But
just
the
like put them
dude,
in the
but
vlogs.
that's such validation though, and they're only doing it for themselves. But then they
Yeah.
realize that,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's cool. I
dude,
like that aspect of it because sometimes I'm there to film with someone in
sure, sure,
particular, but
sure,
then I don't want to stop the session and
yeah, yeah.
things pop off and people are just charging and sometimes I snipe some angles,
You
dude.
have to though,
So
man. You
fun.
have to because you don't even know how valuable it is to somebody else. Again, they're doing it for the love, but then when they know that somebody acknowledges, especially
Yeah.
that they look up to, it's like, damn,
The
dude,
cool
like,
thing with the vlogs and the YouTube channel too is like I look at it like we're collecting these things because it's
dude,
just like I've been doing it for a
yeah,
decade,
yeah,
so it's like you
yeah,
just see all these sessions and streams of
yeah,
people and
yeah.
like it's cool to have people come in and out of it and like it's fucking insane to be
That's
doing it for
why
this
I
long.
got a
So still,
tripod and I just set it up and like I catch everybody doing tricks and
yeah,
stuff
it's
like
rad.
that. And it's just one of those. And I got a couple kids got tripods too, and
Sick.
it's just like, dude, like you have to like
It's cool when
literally,
kids figure out how to film each other too.
dude,
It's fucking
yeah.
rad.
But the thing
You
is
help
to
them.
see your progression,
Yeah,
to see
yeah.
your progression, and that's the thing too. Like, I think I sent you video of that girl Christy Boonin at OMF. She
Yeah,
did the fakey pop shove it.
yeah.
She just showed up. I was there with Lucier, a bunch of OGs, and she just showed up and was just skating around. And I was like, damn, that girl's pretty good. So I just walk up to her and I was like, hey, have you ever tried this trick? She's like, I've never in my life. I said, I'm gonna film you, do it, whatever. She's
Yeah.
like, I don't know. She ended up getting it, and literally I sent it to you, and I think you posted it or whatever. And she ended up texting me, and she was like, dude, like my phone is blowing up. People are like
That's it,
flipping
man.
out, and she's like, I've never done that trick. I said, but I knew you could, and she's like, but I didn't. And it's like, and that's what I mean. I'll go to skate parks and I'll see people, and I'll do the same thing, man. I'd be like,
Yeah,
yo,
it's
man,
cool.
you ever try this, whatever? Because again, they're there doing it for themselves, but if you can see that they've got the desire and everything, and like that's rewarding to me.
I've always appreciated a cool filmer.
Yeah, yeah,
Someone who'll just capture the
dude.
session.
Oh man, you don't even know. Like
I used to go to the edge with my camera and call it Edge Day Nights, and I would just go with my zoom and just like film for hours.
dude,
People were so cool about it.
that's what I love. I love that though. I really wish that. I'm like a barter person. Like money is obviously a necessary evil and we need it, but like I have so much skills in like electronics and systems and cars and fixing up cars and doing
Yeah.
so much stuff. So it's like to me, I always wanted someone that like wanted to get into filming in high school or whatever, where it'd be like, listen, man, like I could pay you money too, but like if you want a remote start alarm, radio, amps, every like music, even
Yeah.
home stuff, like I have so many skills at so many different things. So I feel like I would rather do that and like help them hone in their thing. But like, every Sunday morning come to Edge and film and stuff like that. Like I always wanted someone to do that, to get obviously the skills, but also where like I'd get a benefit of it and they would too.
Yeah, yeah.
But I never filmed growing up, man, like other people and stuff, and I've been doing it in the past probably 5 years. I love it. I
Yeah.
love filming other
It takes a
people.
little bit to get used to and figure out
It
how to
does.
do it
Yeah,
and all that
yeah, yeah.
stuff, but like once you get a rhythm, it's like you can figure
I
it out,
really, yeah. I like doing the angles thing. Sometimes I bring two tripods and set them up
Oh,
at different
sick.
angles. And
Yeah.
And then usually if I'm doing something nuts, then somebody else is filming too. So now we have three angles.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like whatever we could do for ourselves that influences anybody else too is priceless. I think.
Yeah, man. Dude, thanks for this
Yeah,
podcast.
dude. Thank you, man.
I really think I agree with you, man. Like, I just try to be the best example I can be.
Yeah.
And it's like, no one's perfect, so it just, don't be too hard on yourself,
Yeah.
but set a standard where you're like, I'm going to try to be the best person I can
Dude,
be
yeah.
and keep working at it.
Yeah.
And then maybe we'll get there. And it's like a lifelong project, you know?
Yeah.
It's
I want
hard.
to come. I want to come on a trip with you guys if you go guys local or something.
Oh,
man.
shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, dude, there'll
'Cause
be
I
a
s-
session
I
for
see
sure.
some of you that what's his name? He's Amston.
Oh, Anders?
Yeah, Anders.
Yeah, Anders
dude.
rips.
Yeah, because I follow him, but his backside threes are.
He rips.
Oh my god, that
Dude.
kid's so good.
The whole crew's gonna be at Red Alert on February 5th, my G's.
Yeah,
It's gonna be live.
I can't. Oh,
We're
man.
gonna do more. I got the van. There'll be more skate jams,
Yeah,
more
yeah.
traveling, more trips. Like
Yeah.
I'm trying to do as much because I got the van so we could do that. So now I've already been on the tear. I went to
Yeah, I heard you say.
Maine, went to Motion Skate Jam, raised some money for their park.
Nice.
Then we went down to Second Nature. Doug Brown and Brian Brown, who used to ride for Z York, they own a skate park, Second Nature, in
Where's that?
Peekskill, New York.
Oh, no shit.
And just like we're on the mission. I took all the little ones to Cracker Barrel.
I know.
Shit
That
was sick.
story you said was hilarious.
Dude, Adam, thank you.
Yeah,
Solid
thanks,
pod,
dude.
and
Thank you.
we'll do it again, man.
All right. Thank you, man.
Hell yeah.
Appreciate it. I'm honored.